Howdy, 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 ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, wherever it is you come from this fine what night? Tonight was a weird one. Today was weird. Last night, though, if you were here last night and you're here again tonight and you're a newbie, thank you. Last night was wild. It was a crazy 4-hour experience that has been seen a lot today through various clip channels and through people coming to this channel and finding last night's discussion. And I thought, you know what? Hey, why don't we follow up with an absolutely crazy situation by going crazier into American politics? And this, the very first of what I'm hoping is going to be 4 debate debriefs, where we talk about what happened. And I want to hear your thoughts about this. This is the key, guys. I have my opinions. I have my opinions over what I heard tonight, as I'm sure you do as well. And I thought that it would be interesting just to get your takes on it. We are probably going to agree. We're probably going to disagree. I might be a contrarian in the conversation. I might agree with you or just outright disagree with you, depending on what we're talking about. I have no plan for this. I don't do any of these shows with a fucking plan, by the way. I don't do anything with Boulder Talk with a plan. I just start it and we go and we see what happens. And apparently we've had some epic moments over the past couple weeks that have been really funny. So for the next couple hours, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited, like Nips Can Cut Glass excited. And I think it's going to be fun. So we'll give it a second here. While I gotta put this out in the Discord, in my Discord, to let people know that it's going on. And then I posted it on the Twitter sphere. So we'll have to see what's going to be happening there. All right, we got ourselves a grand total 35 people in here so far. That's not bad. We'll definitely do that. All right. So let me just quickly look through here. Imagine BTW says Matt won. I wasn't even in the debate, and apparently I won. Imagine, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see here. A cat says last night was a roller coaster. Oh, dude, yeah. I was up until 4 a.m. I could not go to sleep last night. I just could not. Like, I was getting tons of DMs from people, and I'm in bed just like trying to relax, and I couldn't relax. I was just awake. I was wired. I was like, I want to go again round number 2. You know, like, let's get it. I'll call Boogie up right now. We'll do it again. No, I wouldn't do that. But last night was an absolute roller coaster. I had a lot of fun. Alvy says, I live in Ohio, and that debate was a tragedy. That was definitely kind of crazy. Garrick asks, is it safe to say you aren't friends with Boogie anymore? Well, the thing with that is, let me just quickly double check here. He still follows me, and I am not blocked. I am probably muted, but I am definitely not blocked, or unfollowed. So I don't know. I don't know then if everything he was saying to me last night was truthful or if it was more kayfabe. But either way, it was a hell of a fucking time. It was a hell of a time. Let's see here. Biohazard said, this will be good. Grab your Koch says trash fire. Imagine here says they're not going to do it again. It was a train wreck. You're talking about the debate probably. Yeah. A-Cat says, let's go. I know I was waiting to hear that on D-Live tonight, but apparently that didn't happen. I wonder why. I feel like there was a severe lack of lemons this evening. I don't quite know where they went or what happened. But there was a silencing situation. Anyway, all right. Let's see here. Starship Trooper says, weird is not the word for it. Freak show. Someone needs to get the Dome of Silence. Shows boarding school for troubled children doesn't work. I'm sure he's referring to the debate. Kira, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Let's see here. Did anyone catch PPP high as fuck? I did not. I'll have to try to get Kibi on. All right, let's see here. The moderator needs to, we'll talk. Yeah, I completely agree. The moderator needs to do a bunch of that shit. All right. So chances the next debates are canceled. I don't think they're going to be canceled. But I do think there's going to be some serious moderation. We're talking like D-Live chat levels of moderation, you know what I mean? A lot of no situations, right? A lot of no, you can't say that word. You can't say that word. Can we quickly address that Ethan got banned for 3 days because of someone else in a video he was watching dropped the N-bomb? I mean, you can tell that was a situation where the moderators were legitimately looking for a reason to ban him. Where's he gonna go now? Entropy? That didn't work out, did he? Ban evading on YouTube. That's not, yeah. And then threatening YouTube to ban him. Oh, what a day. What a day. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Ralph has more viewers. I don't give a shit, Andy. That's fucking funny though, dude. That you come in here, you gunt garden, man. You gonna gunt guard on here? Anyway, all right. Let's see here. What did I think of Chris Wallace as a mod? He tried, but not hard enough. All right, let's see. PPP has humbly given the floor to magnanimous man. It's well, like I'll DM him. Let's see here. Okay. Ethan's going to Bitwave. Sure it is. Okay. All right. So we've got a few people already in the backstage. I'm sure as time will go on, we'll get some more. I will post the link again. Again, it's in the video description if you are looking for a link to get on in. If not, let's do it. Let's have them. Yep, Sean, I completely agree. Let's have ad. All right. Biohazard, you are the first person here. You've been waiting for a while.
Okay, how's it going, Matt? It's a crazy night. It's a crazy night
Because it's like not
every
only
night's crazy now. Every night's fucking getting crazy.
You know, to paraphrase a certain defunct podcast, it's call sign. You never know what's going to happen on Boulder Talk Radio.
Oh, I'm telling you. Remember, like I think it was like one of the first times I called in, and I was like, "Man, that D Live team, they do not like Ralph because." He's a hot potato, man, and I'm telling you, I don't know who the investors are, but like they're people that are working with fucking banks and credit companies and stuff like that. They don't like that fucking shit. Nobody does. And I'm not saying like I think it's wrong. I wish that everyone had a platform, but it's like, man, like to make your fucking money on the internet with that style of content is in my opinion, I wouldn't suggest it right now at this moment.
Yeah,
like it's you gotta go find a legitimate fucking outlet to make money because.
I agree with you. But let's you know what? Fuck Ethan. All right, we've talked about him enough.
So yeah, we got the debate.
We got the debates.
Yes. So
your thoughts, your take. I want to know.
So okay, my take is like I watched the whole debate. I thought it was. It was super fucking entertaining. Donald Trump was what we would call alpha. This guy was completely in control of both Biden and the moderator for like at least I would say like 60% of the debate until the moderator got like tired of his shit and was like, no, you got to stop, man. You got to stop. It was fucking nuts, man. He was talking over him. He had like double rebuttals. He had like, because that's how Donald Trump is. Like, I would be afraid to debate someone like Donald Trump because he would just shut you the fuck down and make you look stupid. And that's kind of what he did. Even though I think Biden made a lot of good points, he made a good point on healthcare and about like, well, we should think about like socialized healthcare. And he talked about the climate change and the COVID. And I thought he won on those arguments. I thought Trump won on all the rest. Maybe other than the black one, because when Donald Trump talked about like the Proud Boy shit, that really did not sound good. When he was like almost like he controlled them. Like,
well, that was the point, that everything he was doing was almost a dog whistle in and of itself, right? Like if you really listen to what he was saying, I don't agree that he was alpha. He was there. It's not alpha to be an uncaged beast. Right, it's because being alpha more or less means you're in control. That people will like. He was not in control. He couldn't help himself. He couldn't help himself. That's the thing. There's a difference between being in control and being impulsive.
Yeah, but he was able to get extra points on top, like an extra time in talking, like the whole time.
But what he said didn't make any sense. It was noise.
No, he rebutted him.
Not really. He tried. It was like it would be off topic on stuff. It was such a weird debate tactic because the idea was meant to distract Biden, and it worked a couple times. To be fair, I'll be fair on that.
Yeah, for sure, man. 100%.
Like Biden got a little bit. He stumbled a little bit here and there. There's a couple moments where he got like a little sluggish. But the thing was, like, this was Trump's debate to lose. And in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys might agree with me or disagree, I think he lost because the thing is when you are asked point blank, I don't give a fuck how many times, if you are asked in a public setting, do you denounce white nationalism, and you don't unequivocally say no, right? Or do you? Yes, you denounce it. That's what I mean to say. Then that is a dog whistle. And then what was it? Stay back, whatever the line was that he used. I put it on the thumbnail. I already forgot what it was. But like that's again, that's a dog whistle to those guys, and that's a
Yeah.
big problem right now
But,
because the thing is Middle America is going to be deciding this, and if they look at Proud Boys and any of that shit as being any kind of negative.
But Proud Boys haven't really done anything too insane, right? Like they're not burning down buildings. They're not fucking. They're just showing. They're like counter protesters to Antifa for the most
No,
part.
they
right?
cause their own amounts of problems. They cause their own amounts of problems. They're not
Not-
perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
It's just it's not in the same like category, right? Like
Yeah.
like they're two different worlds, right?
No,
Like you
don't-
see what's happening in like Portland and fucking Washington. Like there's like angry riots, right? And they're burning shit down. They're burning businesses down. It's causing a lot of problems. Proud Boys, for the most part, they show up in the daytime and they're just like, oh, we like our Christian beliefs. We like our Donald Trump, right? Like it's not like they're down there to like start fucking fights with businesses.
No, they're not down there to start fights with businesses. They're down there to start fights with people. And they are. They're down there. They don't show
Okay,
up in as much
okay.
force as they show up. And again, I'm from Portland, so like that is my home city. And they don't go to places like Portland.
Yeah, because they're outnumbered there for sure, man. Like
Well, they
would-
also have done a lot. Like when there was a rally there, I think 2 years ago, they bussed in from across the state line from inside Washington. They had caches of weaponry in vehicles stationed nearby in car parks in case shit got real. And we've seen over the course of over these protests, there have been instances. I'm not saying every time, but there's been instances of right-wing provocateurs that have been identified as being right-wing provocateurs, causing problems within the protesters' ranks. And then that kind of thing I was calling happening a long time ago anyway. Because you're not going to, when this whole thing is more or less being talked about in social media, this whole either election or this whole protest thing is being talked about in social media. A lot of it's going to be how can you skew the narrative? How can you pimp it your own way? And I don't think the left, and I am a lefty. I'm a Bernie bro, so I have no problem admitting that. But like I will say that the left is terrible at controlling the narrative. The right is great because they come at it from an emotional base, and that's how they showcase it. So when you talk about the Proud Boys, though, they've been a problem for a long time. They may not be as violent in, let's say, like as the KKK, but they're still active and their beliefs and they come out for those kind of things, and they are in many cases racist. So
okay, that's fine. I mean, like that it's fine. Like I get it, but aren't Antifa like fucking pretty racist again? Like I mean, racist is the wrong word, but like they're pretty anti-American. Like they're ripping down statues. They're doing that kind of. This is not what like regular Americans that are not political, right? Like we're political, right? Like me and you, we're on the internet. We hear all this political mumbo jumbo. But when I go out into the real world and I meet with people and like they see like on like we're in the staff kitchen, like having our lunch, and they see like a statue getting ripped down, and then like I see the Chinese lady, like why they fucking rip that down?
oh yeah, no, don't get me
You know
wrong.
what I mean?
Like,
Like,
I mean,
people
I
are
saw
like, what
someone
the
saying
fuck
that
is
I'm
this like,
that I'm
you
like
know?
that I'm like white knighting Antifa. I'm not. Like, fuck those guys. All right. Like, I don't like any of the protests. I respect their right to protest, but as soon as it goes fucking dark, and like they start breaking shit, dude, I'm like, fucking get in there. I mean, no, if Trump would have actually been able to talk the governors into accepting into bringing in the National Guard, I wouldn't have been against it. I wouldn't have been against it. Like especially in Portland, it's like there is a time when it's like this is now moving past what I believe would be acceptable freedom of expression, and it's moving into nightly situations that are going to be doing nothing but causing problems to the people that live there. Chop inside Seattle, I was not for that either. People, as much as I'm a lefty, I still don't like the far left extremists, period. But I also don't like the far right extremists. And I
No, me
don't
either.
like the
No.
concept of not being able of like, when I call out the far right, I love the people like, well, what about the far? Like, fuck that. What aboutism shit? That shit's propaganda. Like when it comes to this subject matter of tonight, when we bring up the Proud Boys, it is in the context of where instead of saying like, you know what, they don't speak for me. I don't speak for them. I denounce any kind of violence. It was stand back and stand ready. And
Okay.
it's like, and you don't, that was like that's what's going to be the fucking soundbite tomorrow.
Yeah. That was really, really not a good comment that Trump made. It made it sound like he was almost like in control of these organizations. Like I think that was definitely a misstep that he said. But one thing I would want to say is like for organizations that are like the Proud Boys or whatever kind of weird fucking sects that they have, I don't know. But what if they were not in support
Oh,
of Donald Trump? Like they were just like we're pro-American. Like that was their stance.
but
And they were not Donald Trump fans. They were just like we're pro-Americans
in
that
this
don't want to
particular
see our
situation,
country.
it's not about that. The patriotism is tied into Donald Trump, is tied into the
Yeah,
MAGA
because
mindset.
that's what he's touting, right?
Well,
But
because
I
that's
think
what he
he's
used, but that was him dog whistling to his base. Because listen, at the end of the night when he talked about, in telling his people to go to polling stations and to watch, it's like
yeah.
that is not something that is being suggested as a, maybe just check it
That's
out.
where I
It's
thought Biden won too. Like I thought he won on that argument
he
too
won on
because
he won on
yeah,
like most of the arguments, and it really wasn't like the thing
well,
is
that's arguable, but
I think he won on a lot of the because again, it really was about it, we already know both sides' policies. That was the whole point. This shouldn't even be about policy because we already
yeah.
know the policies. The truth of the matter is this: when it talks about healthcare, yeah, Trump did get rid of the individual mandate, which I actually agree with because I thought that was like, that was shitty. I hated it. But at the same time, he has not done anything on the comprehensive front in order to change healthcare in 4 years. He
Yeah,
hasn't
yeah.
done anything like that.
Yeah, you
He
guys
has,
need to fix that for
and that's
sure.
and that's the thing. So
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, I signed this executive order." And it's like, "Well, it's largely symbolic," which it is.
Yeah, so yeah.
And so there's
Nothing's
elements there.
changed,
It's
yeah.
like, and then is Biden's plan going to work? I got no freaking idea, but like it would be
You need
something.
something.
It's,
Yeah.
he's like, I want to expand Obamacare. And him saying, I want to expand Obamacare was absolutely him trying to then, because he noticed how he didn't really bring up like me and Barack, because that was like his go to for a while.
Yeah,
Right. Like
yeah,
he,
yeah.
he only really like said it, like he didn't really say it at all. He actually kept that under wraps quite a bit, which I thought was a good play on his part. But he says he wants to expand Obamacare. Since Obamacare is as loved as it is in many instances, then it's
Yeah, I
one of
think
those.
it's helpful. I think it's
Yeah.
useful for
So then
most.
that's going to speak to that base, obviously. I mean, look, as I said, this whole thing wasn't even really about the individual. It wasn't about individual opponents. It was more or less like, in my mind, Biden just has to kind of get by, right, and then Trump has to not fuck up, and
Yeah,
that's and then he just was like, I'm going to throw everything at the wall, and which is a very interesting tactic, to be fair. But I got a lot of people that I still want to get on in here.
Okay.
So I appreciate you coming on in. I know you were
Okay,
the
I
first
just
one you
want to
waited.
say I
Yeah.
just want to say one thing. Yeah, my cousin today he died. Can I please get an F in chat for Jerry?
Jesus. I'm sorry that your cousin died.
Can I please get an F in chat, guys?
Yeah, if you guys want to. Jesus Christ.
Please F in chat.
Oh my God.
Have a good night.
Oh, thank you. Jesus. All right. All right. All right. All right. Rip Jerry, 100% agree. Okay, Baytard's son. What's going on, man?
I can't believe that you destroyed me, man.
Oh man, I got a phone call. I got on that whole subject of Beardson, or whatever his name is. Actually got a phone call today from freaking Southern Dingo, who's the only one of that group who still calls my cell phone, and he was like, he was congratulating me on apparently owning Beardson, and like, what the fuck? What the ever living hell? Okay, all right, Jay, what's going on, man? Oh, he's muted. I'll give him a second to unmute.
Oh, what's going on, Matt?
Not too much, dude.
That's crazy, huh?
It was, yeah. I was in my car, and like, I'm very thankful that I was out working, and I had to drive like far out into the wilderness to get some places, and so I had my satellite radio on, and I was just listening to it. So when I wanted to yell something, no one could hear me. I could be as loud as I wanted.
Right.
there were times where I was yelling very loudly in my car.
That's crazy. To me, I think it was obvious that I think Biden came out on top. Either, people trying to make a case for Trump. I don't see how you can. I mean, he was the one that was interrupting the most. He didn't look very good with some of his comments, especially that Proud Boys comment. I don't understand how anybody can make a case that Trump looked good tonight.
Well, so what you have to realize when it comes to that point is his supporters, that third of the country roughly, they're going to support him almost no matter what. But what was interesting was that even Chris Christie, who spent this last weekend like helping him prepare, came out tonight, I think on Fox, and was like, could have done better. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. But, you know, he wasn't like, he was kind of denouncing it. That Proud Boys comment is going to be what bites him in the ass. It's going to freaking dog whistle his more America First supporters, because those are the ones that are going to very much be creaming in the pants over that shit. And I don't know what the result from that's going to be. But that's really for me, like, and that is, as I said, that is kind of the pivotal moment of the entire thing for me. Like, Biden angered me a couple times because I think if he was like, I was hoping that, you know, because I saw someone tweet this out that they were really hoping that the debate would go further into like internet blood sports, right? Like I saw someone put that out there. They're like, yeah, we totally, like, it should have been like more like internet blood sports. And maybe that would have been more exciting. And I think there's times where like Biden could have hit Trump really, really, really hard. Like when the subject of the rallies came up, right? And Trump was talking about getting the numbers and he's trying to flex, like, I had 40,000 people, like, whatever, dude, you know, like that's you having to like have your, you know, your penis measured sort of thing. But in this case, what Biden could have been is like, yeah, and people weren't wearing masks, and Herman Cain didn't wear a mask, and Herman Cain fucking died.
Yeah.
You know, and like you could have used Herman Cain. I mean, it would have been probably like seen as a low blow, and I'm sure there'd be like a million hit pieces tomorrow, like Biden invokes you know, Herman Cain, but it's like it's a true statement. Herman Cain went to that event, that rally in Ohio, that should never have happened, and he wasn't wearing a mask, and then he died. And now his account is tweeting from the dead, which is, and is tweeting anti-mask shit too, which is
very disgusting.
That's a whole other fuck. People get mad at the Stan Lee account for tweeting about Captain Marvel, but that pales in comparison to that shit. But there could have been so many moments where Biden could have done something to strike back. And I think, I really do think that if Biden could body Trump on something, like just, I mean, we're talking like pure zinger and shit, it could throw Trump off at least enough to where Trump would start to crumble. But he was already crumbling from the get-go by the constant interruptions, the over talking everyone, the fighting with the moderator. You know, I mean, everything he was doing was so, it was Trump, but it was just like, why are you even here doing this shit? Like you're coping. The whole thing was a cope for Trump. It really was. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, what do you really think was like your favorite moment from this thing from either side? Like, do you think either one had a good point they were trying to make, or was it just like, I don't know, like two old men slap fighting?
That is the second one. It's just two old men slap fighting. It's just two old men that we could, even though we're not doctors, we can kind of assume these guys might have some kind of mental incapacity, maybe dementia. You know, allegedly both have used Adderall, which I don't really care about. If you got to use it to pump yourself up, I'm not mad at that. But
I mean, if you drink caffeine, right, that's a stimulant.
It's the same thing.
Why not crush up some Adderall?
Exactly.
I'm kidding. Clearly, it's fucking
exactly. This came down to me, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not voting for either candidate, but this came down to Joe Biden at least answering the questions and somewhat staying on topic.
Sure.
Trump was the one that kind of acted all wild and crazy, which we know he was going to do because that's Trump. He's a character.
Yeah, he's got it. But the thing is, like, what I really want his supporters to see, and why I'm excited for the next two debates, is the further he gets out of that hug box, the further he's not going to be him in front of a massive crowd of people. There's like 100 people in the room, and the further he gets away, and he gets these, like, if they just leave him unchecked, like, I really do think that when they gave him like 2 minutes, which was a good amount for Trump, because past that, he would just keep talking. And that's what he started. Yeah. He would do that. You would see him go on these trains of thoughts. You would see him do all these other things. And then from there, he would just, like, he would then get out stuck on this point, and he'd want to try to get this win. And it just ended up being like distracting. And I don't know how a lot of his supporters can look at that and go, that was good debating or good politicking, because it really was just,
he's just rambling.
He's just rambling. It's like, oh, okay, Mr. Magoo, like, we're going to get you back in your house now. But like the thing that cracked me up though was when Biden he had some moments where he got a little bit tough. You know, Biden had some moments where he got like he had a little bit of oomph in his step. and he was able to kind of throw a couple softball jabs. But that was the thing is Biden, his entire point from all this was not to like out Trump, because you're never going to be able to do it. It would be a pointless gesture to try to like Marco Rubio Donald Trump. It just would fail. And that's what Trump wanted. He was pushing Biden to react. He was pushing Biden's buttons. And he did a couple times. But because Biden didn't take the bait, it deflated a lot of Trump's attacks, which is why he kept ramping them up. And even in that moment when when Joe was talking about Bo, it was a bit of a confusing thing. And that was where I think Biden actually won that debate. Because I think Biden knew that Trump was talking about Hunter, but Biden was very quick to segue it to Bo, right? To his like very distinguished, unfortunately dead son.
Veteran.
Yeah, military veteran, unfortunately dead son. And then Trump like wasn't able to catch it fast enough because he's like, wait, who are you talking about? And he's like, Hunter, no, Bo. Oh, okay. Like I don't know him. Man. Right. And that was like that was again, because he's like, but he tried bringing up the money with everything else. And it's like that's basically a way to kind of disprove Trump on the attacks against Joe's kids. But then Joe brought up Trump's kids, but didn't lay down any salient point. And that was a problem for me because I'm like, dude, if you're going to bring up his kids, you're going to bring up how corrupt they are. Why not talk about the charity, the Donald J. Trump Foundation, being ordered to shut down and having them all have to pay back money because of they misappropriated charitable funds? Like bring that up in there. Bring all this shit up. He's got these moments where there's setups. And like, I wish both sides, to be fair, it would have been funnier if both sides would have had earpieces in. And then like had like comic writers back there, like all right, just say this, like here's a jab. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it on moving, man. But real quick, who do you think won?
Well, I know it sounds kind of corny and repetitive, but at the end of the day, the country lost. I don't think either candidate really won, but I guess Biden had the better debate.
Okay, I get you. Yeah. I get you. No, actually, I did have a quick question, and like, if this is too personal, you don't have to answer it. You said you're not voting for either party. But I'm just curious, what state are you in?
North Carolina. So I can explain that.
Okay.
Basically, I did have one more question for you, but I explain that right quick.
Yeah, sure.
North Carolina, as we know, you're from Seattle, right?
I live near Seattle now. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of a very liberal state. North Carolina, basically, the last time we went blue as a whole for a presidential candidate was Barack Obama in 2008. And the only reason that happened is because a lot of our community, the black community, came out in full force to vote for him. So I know I've seen the signs. I'm here in a small town. I see the signs in the yards. I see the signs on the billboards and the factory poster, the front factories and whatnot. Not factories, but work buildings and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's all Trump, Pence 2020 posters. I'm seeing the same signs from 2016 that I saw in 2020 when I predicted that Trump was going to win, because his supporters are ardent and they don't give up. And here in North Carolina, it really doesn't matter. This state is going red for sure.
Well, if you're not happy with his presidency, don't you think that it would be like your duty then to vote blue?
You would think so, but you know what, Matt, I'm kind of torn, man, because
sure.
I think to myself, you know what? I hope Joe Biden wins. I'm rooting for him. If it comes down to the last day, I might go vote, but I can't cast my vote for him, man.
I get it, man. I get it. Everyone's got to vote their conscience 100%. Like I want people to vote is what I want, because when you go vote, it's not just about the president. There's a lot of other things like local that you vote for as well. Local. And I'm a very big advocate on voting local. Like now that I'm a property owner, like I'm way more invested into it than I was before. But I like to know what's going on, and I like to make sure that I'm active in my community on that front. And I think that's more important to us in the short term and even in the long term in some respects than the presidency. But that's the only one that's a federal. And so people kind of put that on there. But no, you should still, if you don't, I mean, dude, you could write in a Ralph Wiggum if you want, like if that's how you feel you want to cast it, or just leave it blank, it's all good. Then I still would urge you to go and still vote and vote for locally.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Not for the presidency. Yeah.
Yeah. I get you, man. I get you. I mean, cause at least, I can respect that. 100%. So what's the last thing you wanted to ask me?
Before we go? Yeah. Just as a final kind of cherry on top, we kind of see things are happening in this country, and maybe you can say things aren't as crazy as they ever have been, but maybe just that we're exposed to it more through social media. This is the digital age. This is the information age at its prime. Basically, we've never seen a period in history like this where information is so readily accessible. We feel like times are crazy, right? 2020 is a wild year. Coronavirus pandemic, Kobe Bryant's death, Black Panther's death, celebrities dying left and right, and all these events are happening that we never thought would happen. With Trump's presidency was one from 2016. What do you think is what do you think the season finale to this year looks like? Do you think it's going to be riots in the streets? Are you seeing?
Yeah, I think whatever happens
happen or something.
I mean, like if Biden wins, I think it's not. I think the protests will be a few, but not many. Like they'll happen, but it's going to be for like different things. We might see we might see Proud Boys take to certain areas. I don't like when it comes to right wingers and protesting. Like I'm gonna as much as a lefty as I am, flat out like they do handle it better in my opinion. You know, because they feel like I feel like they're more organized and they have better leadership on that organizational front, even though I disagree fundamentally with their politics. Yeah. But I can appreciate like the aversion to anything that could be bad press. Whereas for some reason on the left, I feel like it does become very glorified on that. And that is going to be a factor in this, in this whole election. Like I know Oregon.
I'm thinking about it this way, Matt. And you're saying you don't want to kind of go down that road. You're saying little things, but I'm thinking about it this way. The president just basically condoned it, didn't he? I mean, he didn't say it outright, but he said, "Please stand by." Now, what did he mean? Was that just?
Oh, that was absolutely a dog whistle.
Was that a virtue signal? Was that a call?
That was absolutely. That was absolutely. Yeah, that was 100% a dog whistle. If you listen to a lot of what he said tonight, it was a dog whistle. There's a lot of that was going on. So again, okay, cool. But
I'm looking.
So let me ask you this then. So how does that make you feel then when you hear that dog whistle?
That makes me feel that something might happen. Once again, I've never thrown a brick through a coffee shop window.
Yeah.
I've never stole a sneaker in my life. I won't even be out there in the streets because I'm here in a small town. I really won't be affected. But
sure.
You guys in there, Seattle.
I'm like an hour south of Seattle. So I won't be affected. I wasn't affected by Seattle. I don't live near there. I mean, I live near, but I'm not there, you know? No, I get what you mean, but it's like, I guess my question is like, if you're worried that Trump is out there making a dog whistle, almost putting out a call to arms for his supporters. I mean, he's out there at the end of that thing, like absolutely delegitimizing the election. Not even like just mail-in voting. It was literally like, he calls it rigged at the first presidential debate. He's calling it rigged. That in my mind right there, 100% on top of everything else is an automatic L just for the debate itself. And it's such a disqualifying element for even remotely getting a second term. I think any American that calls himself a patriot, if you have the commander in chief coming out and saying the election is rigged, when, you know, and everything's been against him this entire time. Yeah, things have been against him the entire time. But when he had 2 years of controlling the House and the Senate and the executive branch and still not getting shit done, you have to ask yourself at some point, is this absolutely like, is he worth the bullshit? And I think now tonight is a key indicator that no, he's not. So I would just say to you, and I'll leave you at this one, man. I know you don't want to vote. But a vote not for Biden is a vote for Trump. Even if you leave it blank. And I get you got to vote your conscience, dude. And I get that shit. If what he said tonight bothered you, then I think you got to really ask yourself those questions. And look, and I'm not telling anyone how to vote. I know it sounds like it. I'm going to tell him my own opinion on it. But again, I leave it open for anyone to come on in and have their thoughts. But I'm saying it's like, if you don't like it, we only have the two parties. It's unfortunate, but this is the reality of the situation. You know, if you want, you know, so I'm saying just like look into it, see how you feel. You have a long time to go until we're there. But people are already voting, like, I mean, en masse. We're already seeing a lot of, you know, they can't be counted yet, but you know,
and I do participate. I will say, I will vouch for myself. I campaigned for Bernie here in North Carolina, and I voted for him in the North Carolina primary. But you know, unfortunately, Joe Biden, he turned out here in our state. So.
Yeah, well, people are like, oh, Jarvis on how to vote. I'm just like, I'm going to make an argument. All I'm doing is making an argument. I would, if Jay here comes back and he goes like, you know what, fuck you, Matt, I voted for Trump. I'd be like, okay, I get that. That's fine. Like, no, but it's like, cause this is the thing. That's the thing. I just want to make this abundantly clear. I have my deep rooted politics. I have my beliefs. but I'm not
Yeah.
one of those people that's like, if you disagree with me, I'm going to excise you from my life. I'm not going to ban you from the chat if you're Trump 2020. I'm not going to, I'm not going to block you from commenting. I'm not going to block you from coming on in. I'm just saying, like, I have my beliefs, you have your beliefs, but I'm down for the conversation. And I apologize. I'm not trying to get aggressive. I apologize if I am. I am trying to be like more neutral. It is a heated thing. I got heated tonight myself. So
No, let me tell you this before I go. I'm gonna sign out. But if I were to vote, Matt, I'm not dumb. I would vote for Joe Biden. You don't have to worry about me being some kind of Trump MAGA idiot.
No, dude, it ain't that, man. It ain't that. It ain't that. I'm just saying, it's like your beliefs from what you've told me. That's my argument to you.
No, you're right. You're right. Joe Biden would be my guy, but it's like for me. And before I sign out, I like to watch a lot of Kyle Kalinske. So I'm kind of like with him. Like, I'm one of those don't participate in the two-party system. It's a scam type guys. I really am.
Kyle's gone.
Kyle Kalinske is wild.
He's definitely let me ask you a quick question about Kyle, and then I'll let you go because I have to ask somebody this question. Does that neck chain of his ever just bother you?
Well, does he really wear it like he used to? Because I don't see it. I
haven't seen him recently, but like there was a while where he just always had that silver chain, and it would just like reflect the light. And I'm like, really, Kyle? Really, Kyle?
I'm ready for Kyle to get a new set.
Yeah, he makes enough money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, man. All right, dude.
All right, man,
thank you very much for calling on in, brother. Have yourself a good night, dude. All right. Let's see here. Anthony, I know you've been waiting a while.
Hey, man, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I feel like you're gonna break up what could be a very interesting evening. Like you're gonna add some levity to it. So
I watched the debate. My stepdad was pissed.
At who?
At Joe Biden.
All right. Why was your stepdad pissed at Joe Biden? I'm curious.
Because he was pissed. He don't like him. My stepdad is a big Trump supporter.
Okay.
And
I get it.
And my mom and him were going back and forth.
That's
about how my grandfather, God rest his soul, used to work for Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
And what exactly was that like? You're talking like are you talking like unions or just like healthcare?
Healthcare. He used to work for them.
And so how do they disagree on that?
Well, how they disagree because they're saying that Trump should not run for a second time. I'm going for Biden. I'm going for Joe Biden.
All right. You know what I would like, Anthony? You know what I think would be hysterical? I don't know why. I just think it would be I want you to consider this. The next debate, I want you to like take your phone and I want you to record your parents. Don't let them know you're recording them or let them know. And then just like, but I want to hear like two middle-aged New York people bicker about politics. I don't know why, but to me personally, I think it'd be one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, well, I will take it under consideration.
Because I just want to see what your family dynamic is like in a heated conversation. Because I like
my mom and my stepdad. My mom waited years to get married.
Well, that's good, man. That's good. And Anthony, I like you. So
I like you too.
I want to, for some reason, I just want to see I want to see you get like heated. You know what I mean? I want to see you get like really fired up for one thing or another. I don't know why. I just think it'd be great to see.
My mom said Trump should be in jail.
Well,
should agree.
A lot of people tend to agree, and a lot of people tend to disagree.
Yeah, I'm a man of justice. I stand for what is right.
That's good, dude. That's good.
I went to Walmart the other day. I got me the Rob Zombie trilogy pack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got 3 from Hell, Devil's Rejects, and House of a Thousand Corpses.
I haven't seen 3 from Hell yet, but I've seen the other ones.
Well, today, me, I was watching Dancing with the Stars, and Carol Baskin got eliminated.
Oh, thank God! Just like she eliminated her husband.
God. Thank friggin' God. Thank friggin' God is right. I watched the trailer for The Craft today, the reboot of The Craft.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer for that yet.
I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
All right,
I've been watching LA's Finest. You know what's a good show? Fargo.
I definitely haven't I haven't seen that.
Chris Rock acting OMG, he looked like a killer in that. He's not He's not the hey, he's not that type in this one. His eyes look like a killer in that.
All right, well, I'll have to check it out, man. But thank you for calling on in, man. I'm gonna jump over to the next person because I think tonight's gonna get a little crazy. All right, cool, man. Thank you. Yeah, Andy Simite. If you're running your mouth in the chat, dude, why don't you actually, I don't know, like follow the link and come on in unless you little punk ass bitch. So don't be a bitch. All right, let's see. I'm trying to make sure. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to get rid of apparently YouTube is not liking me trying to block people or whatever. I don't know. Let's get to the next person. All right, Kira. What's going on, man?
Hey, Matt, man. I didn't think you were going to do a show today, so it's actually nice to see that you're on. You know, I mean, it's understandable, you know, given the happenings.
It was nah, dude. Tonight was just like I thought about it, and I'm all like, I'm out working, and I thought, you know, like it'd be really funny is to just like do a stream talking about like the debate, because why the hell not, and just see what happens.
Well, I mean, everyone else is doing it, so
well, I mean, and I'm clearly a person that follows trends, obviously. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's correct. You know, and I actually appreciate the fact that you did come on because you present a side that's from the other side of the aisle from this normal IBS crap. So it's not just, you know, sort of an
which is really funny because I actually, honest to God, did not start doing this thing and to make IBS. To be fair, I didn't. And so, and then like people are like, oh, Jarbo's got like unironically the best IBS show out there. And I'm like, is okay. Like, I'm like, let me just fire up a stream and here's a link. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Right. You know? Exactly.
So,
yeah. So, okay. Basically, the point that I was going to get to is that, there was a couple of other things that some of your, previous callers talked about. I can't really remember those, but I'm going to keep it kind of short. So
sure.
To other people. But anyway, you know, you cover the Proud Boys and the whole white nationalism thing. And I even saw like on like Twitter, you know, like, I don't know if you know who Kerry Washington is.
The actress?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I am familiar.
Yes. I just saw a bunch of stuff on social media saying like, well, okay, he didn't talk about white supremacy. He didn't, you know, denounce white supremacy. So anyways, you covered all that stuff. That's fine and good. I'm not going to get into that because it's, you know, we could be here all day if we wanted to. The only thing that, as far as my take goes, is that number one, this debate did not change anyone's mind, in my opinion. I don't think anyone thinks anything differently about one side or the other.
Yeah.
And that being said, you know, there's still 2 more debates to go, so that's going to be fun. And more importantly, I think the real shit show is probably going to be the vice presidential debate.
That is the one I'm looking forward to. That is the one I'm looking forward to, because I think I knew this one was going to be a mess, and the other ones are going to be messes as well. But what cracked me up is like just the thought of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Sorry, and Mike Pence. Mike Pence. Although, I mean, them on the debate stage when it was Joe and Kamala going at it, like Kamala was bodying Joe pretty hard. She was hitting him really hard, you know. And so she's got some fight in her, you know. She's got some sass. And that's my question is like, can Pence, the human equivalent of a loaf of white bread, actually like deal with this? That I mean, I know Pete Buttigieg is playing Pence in the debate prep. They've got Buttigieg out there playing, because you can kind of see it, like that Midwest, you know, idea. My question becomes like, what is, you know, is Diamond and Silk, are they the ones that are helping Pence debate prep? Are they playing the role of Kamala Harris, or is it Candace Owen? I mean, did they call in Candace? Did they call in?
Or PragerU or something?
Yeah, did they call in like any prominent black female conservative? And there are not many of them. You know, there's not many of them. And so I honestly think, I'm not going to lie, I think if they were going to pick anyone, Candace Owen would be the best one, if I'm being fair. As much as I hate Candace Owens because she's a grifter and a half, I think she would have the ability to give like the right kind of pushback to Pence on certain issues in order to get him prepped for a counterattack. And I think if they didn't do that, if they got someone like Palin or some shit, they're all just getting themselves fucked.
Well, Kamala still thinks that Tupac is still alive, so I mean, it's anybody's game and anyone's guess at this point when it comes to that shit show that's going to happen. But it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
Oh, it's going to be that's what I think I'm gonna enjoy that one the most. It's like during the 2008 debates, Biden versus Palin was the best one,
Right?
and then Biden versus Paul Ryan was also the best one. Because you already know what you're up against when it's like Barack and Mitt Romney or Barack and John McCain. But when it's Biden versus somebody else, like that was the thing tonight. All Biden had to do was really just laugh at Trump. And he tried, and he got a couple of those little suckers in there, but then he tried acting tough. Like, this guy's a clown, man. This guy's a clown.
Yeah,
I'm like, just
those were his actual words.
I know. I'm like, just call him just like going like, this dude's a motherfucker, man. Like if Biden would have all of a sudden been like, man, this guy's a piece of shit. It would have, oh my God, no, Biden isn't being presidential. Because there were people that I saw complaining about that when Biden got a little bit in the mud, got a little bit in the dirt. And they were like, why is he acting like Trump? I don't like that. Like,
yeah, exactly, man. And I'll let you go anyways. But the only thing that I wanted to say at the last part of this was that I think Chris Wallace was a very terrible moderator for this whole thing. I think they should probably pick someone else.
Well, he's not doing the next one. I don't know who's doing the next debates. But I like Chris Wallace too. He's reasonable.
Not a bad guy.
I like him.
It was just a bad performance.
He was weird in like how he was going. Like, oh, Mr. President, this next bit you're gonna like, and it's like, okay. And then he would like okay, well, look at it like this. His tactic was interesting, and his tactic worked. So he would be combative with Trump when necessary, but when he needed to get it back on track, he would pet Trump's ego a little bit. Oh, you're going to like this next part.
I mean, Matt, can I ask you an honest question? Do you think he was throwing softball questions at Joe, though?
Yeah, a little bit.
So, I mean, it's back and forth. I mean, like, it didn't really, like, work. It didn't feel very organic is what I'm saying.
Biden had more of a prepared answer. And Trump was just like a monkey flinging poo. And so Biden, you kind of knew what to expect.
That's the kind of guy he is because he's a showman.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is like this was a situation where Trump ultimately, in my opinion, failed to move the needle any conceivable way. But it wasn't. It was all about you're right. It was all about just establishing the base and establishing like that connection. And I don't think it's going to really change anyone's minds. Maybe some independence. Like look at Jay who just called in. He's like, I'm not going to vote for anyone, and then it's, maybe I'm like, well, if this is something you care about, like, okay, maybe So I think that is what's going to end up spurring people is that when they are alone with their thoughts and they think back on this, and they think to the last 4 years and where we are, and a lot of people are either going to really be happy with where things are, and I have really yet to talk to a Trump supporter that has been happy. That doesn't just use like surface level talking points when I ask them why. But then at the same time, when I'm talking to a lefty, why aren't you happy? Again, it's oftentimes very surface level talking points. So it ends up being this massive problem across the board, in my opinion. And I'm guilty of it too. So I'm like no fucking different, but
Oh no, you're absolutely right, man. And I mean, tonight was just a complete circus, and we'll get to see, what happens next because, there's plenty more where that came from.
Oh yeah. There we go.
But yeah, anyways, you can go ahead and let me go, man.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, dude. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks. I might call back later.
I'll be on for a little bit longer. All right. We got Kira. What's going on, man? Kira.
What?
Hey, what's going on? What are your thoughts about tonight? What do you take away from all this shit?
Matt?
Yeah.
I was just here.
You were?
Yeah,
you got to exit the room then, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm going down the line.
All right.
That's my bad. All right.
You're fine, man. Thanks.
Oh, Jesus. I've had a long day too. All right. There we go. All right. John.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, man. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I heard I can use the S word, right?
Yes.
I was waiting for the show to start days ago. I mean, it was pure joy.
Did it live up to your expectations?
Yeah, the expectations were Trump would just go on the deep end, and Biden. My only question really had, would Biden actually counterattack Trump, and he actually did that somewhat okay. Biden, he won by default because Trump is such a low bar, that just being better than Trump wins the debate.
Yeah.
I did send a tweet to you. I don't know if you know this, but I don't think a lot of people do know that if the GOP actually controls several swing state legislators completely, and they can pick the electors to send the electoral votes to Trump. If all of them do that, then Trump can win 303 votes without even, no matter what happens.
Yeah, but
just
the thing,
to let you know.
No, I mean, like there were, that for one, I see your point there. I don't think it would ever happen. I mean, I just really don't think it would ever happen. You would have, I mean, I know we talk about, I don't want to say joke, but it comes up in conversation every once in a while, a civil war. Right. Like another civil war. I know Tim Pool, my God, he brings it up constantly. He viciously masturbates to it constantly. He's just like, come on, do a civil war. I want to come. Come on, do a civil war. I want to come. Like, that's how he is. Because he brings it up so often. He also is financially tied to a prepper company. So there's also that. He gets money off of pushing a civil war agenda that's going to get people freaked out and wanting to buy 4 weeks of dehydrated pig shit. And that's what he does. And that's his fucking grift. However, there are, I don't personally think we're going to have a civil war. I don't think it's going to happen. Now, do I think that violence is going to happen? I do think that, and I don't want that, but I do think that is, I think Kyle Rittenhouse is simply just the fucking beginning.
Well, the Civil War stuff, first of all, people don't realize that of all the gun owners, that 300 million guns in America, half, 150 million, are owned by 3% of gun owners.
Yeah.
Those are the nut jobs that are to me, telling about we're going to have a civil war, because they've already gunned up. They got their literal weapons caches. Obama's biggest fear was the lone gunman. That's why he's afraid of people just going out and start shooting people.
Well, and we do see that. We do see that every once in a while.
Kyle Rittenhouse, he's one of those gun nuts that committed manslaughter, basically. But people will defend him because he represents power over other people. That's why Trump is so popular, is that the people that support him, he represents power over other people, so they give their voting power to him in proxy to feel powerful. That's a psychological thing. That's my belief,
Yeah. No, I get you, man. I get you.
What else? Oh yeah, the debate was funny. I mean, Trump, he doesn't want to give up the white racist vote at all. That's why he refused to denounce the softest ball question ever, which is, do you denounce white terrorism and white, supremacy? And he should have said no instantly. But he didn't want to lose one vote, so he just didn't say anything.
Well, it goes back to Charlottesville and the very fine people line. I mean, that's what the media is going to draw a parallel to. That's what the media is going to attack them on. I mean, what I'm going to be curious on is, to be fair, I don't know what Hannity has said about it. I saw Safety saying that that a lot of moderates and conservatives thinks Trump won. I don't see how in any stretch of any reality where that would even be considered true, because I know a lot of moderates that are out there, at least on my Facebook, that are out there saying Biden won, and even conservatives I know have said Biden won because it was Trump. Trump just had to not do what he did. That's the biggest thing. And he still never said anything. If you listen to what he talked about, he still never really brought up anything. He makes these, what Biden should have done is every time Trump said, they say, finally bust that fucking bubble and say, who says? He tried that a little bit with the Kellyanne Conway line, but he kind of flubbed up the intensity of it.
Yeah. He hasn't Biden hasn't learned to counterattack. Democrats as a political party, especially the Clintons, all they really do is prevent defense. They defend themselves. They don't counterattack, and you have to learn to counterattack accusations and falsehoods from another political party. And it's really not in their nature, but Biden did some of that, which I was happy to see, because if he didn't do that at all, then Trump would have steamrolled him, and he would have said that, Trump won the election, But I wonder if there's going to be two more debates. There probably is going to be two more debates. But currently on Twitter, I see people just complaining about the moderator being unfair. Trump put out a.
Oh, of course he did, because he lost. Yeah. He put out a thing because he lost. That's what it was. Yeah. He's coping. It's all cope. Everything you're seeing from the right now is absolute cope. It's all cope. They have to because they've built up this. He is such a monolith in their mind that they are not able to see him for being what he truly is. A person who is unfit for the office of which he currently holds. A person who ran to bolster his own personal brand and then is going to do, when he gets out of office, it's going to kill his personal brand. But that's my opinion as a lefty. And the thing is, I know we have some people, I don't know if everyone's waiting to come on in that's going to be, we haven't really gotten any conservatives in here yet. I'm surprised because the chat's full of them. I see there's a guy named Andy Simite who's running his mouth. In the chat, but he refuses to come on in. I don't know why. I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to boot him. I want to hear what he has to say. He's been tweeting. I've been laughing at his posts. It's hilarious. I'm like, you got to call in if you got a set of balls. But all I'm saying is even safety's all like Kellyanne went on there and was just like. Was basically like, oh no, Kellyanne's a liar in general. So, she says she's like the ultimate freaking guard for.
She is a scarecrow, dying person. She looks like the mummies that been in the horror movies where they all dried up and they become, they just come to life because she's lost probably about 20 years of her life. So. When she was gaslighting for Trump. You saw her age 20 years in 3.
Yeah. Well, she also has had a lot of surgery done. I've noticed she had some work done. I think she looked better before the surgery, to be honest with you, but that's just me. However, look, politics ages everybody. It really does. They make that joke about Obama constantly, but hey, man, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to move on. Okay. We got a full room in here right now, so I'm going to blaze through some shit. But thank you, John, for calling on in, and we'll talk again soon. All right, man?
Oh, yeah. Bye.
All right. Thanks a lot. Okay. We're going to jump over here to Randbot in a second, but real quick, what's your nuts? Andy, where are you, Andy? If AG wants on, there's the links right there, man. All right. What's going on, Randbot? 2020.
Oh, Ethan Ralph, he's such a mensch. He's really a mensch.
He's a mensch. How is he a mensch?
Well, he got his girlfriend pregnant. It's really a mensch move. I think if he can do that to own the A-logs, that's a really mensch move.
Sure, I guess so. If you're gonna, although now he's been from what I saw last night and tonight, there's screenshots and
you shut your mouth. He's a mensch.
He's been smoking cigarettes, like the worst possible way to smoke a cigarette.
He can smoke.
Have you watched him smoke a cigarette? Have you literally watched? Like, this is the thing. I'm an ex-smoker, so when people just when you just go
and
then you blow it out.
Seeing him put those things in his mouth. He's a mensch.
Well, that makes sense because you have clearly an oral fetish with mouth.
We're somewhat trepidatious.
Okay.
All right, no, I fucked it up. It was a complete disaster.
You fucked it up. You fucked. All right, is this simp? Is this simp?
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Yeah, you fucked it up. Get the fuck out of here. Simp Masterson, everybody. All right. I like Simp. He's a good dude. Okay. Let's see here. Bringing in Animancer.
Oh shit, Pog, dude. What's up?
What's going on, man? Fucking what do you think of tonight? I know you're a lefty like me. I'm kind of curious to know your take.
Yeah, I'm left wing, but I'm actually planning to vote libertarian. We can get into that a bit, but honestly, I tried to avoid the debate at first, but one of my friends asked me into a stream to talk about it, and yeah, it was everything I expected it to be, which was honestly just a fucking drain on my mind. I know a lot of people were going in kind of expecting a WWE style wrestling match. I think that's what a lot of people want from these debates, right? Is some good fucking entertainment. Everyone already has their minds made up who they're going to vote for, I think. Or most people do. And it's really just a piece of entertainment. But to me, it was just honestly grating. I don't like having to see the fucking country basically burn right in front of our eyes. I don't find that very funny.
No, I don't find it to be funny at all. I find that, look, the thing is, I don't even really want Biden. I've been honest about, you know me. I've been a Bernie fan for a long time now. And I shook the man's hand back in February, and that was awesome. I got to see him speak. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And but the way I view it is, where we are as a country is not where we need to be, and Trump is not going to get us there at all.
Definitely,
he's had 4 years, and look, I understand that he's had a lot to deal with in 4 years. I get that. All right, that's not lost on me. There's a lot there. I find it interesting that Obama wears a tan suit. People lose their shit for years. Trump, we're finding out, is absolutely fucked when it comes to taxes, and he owes everyone money in a couple years, and it's all this other shit that's been brought out time and time and time again. And it's so much stuff that it just becomes so desensitizing that people they don't care anymore. Yeah. And that's where I read the NYT article, and I'm just okay, this is exactly what I expected. I didn't have the specifics, obviously, but it's exactly what I expected. If you pay attention and you follow the money, the name Deutsche Bank comes up quite often, and you start finding out more about that. You start, really following where the money goes. You can see that the kind of dealings that he's done over the years and the players that he's associated himself with are part of the reasons why the administration is as fucked as it is. I work for the Census Bureau. They wanted to wrap it up tomorrow. They wanted to be done tomorrow, so I'd be out of work. And then a court order, they really have until the end of the year, right? They have until the end of the calendar year to finish. They've got, they're supposed to wrap it up by tomorrow. A court in Northern California ordered for it to be extended through the end of October. Wilbur Ross, the head of commerce, came out with a guy who's leading the census, essentially. He's coming out and he's saying well, we want it done by October 5th. And I'm for one, let me just point this out. So in my region, there's still 0.5% to complete in my region. And guess what? I'm the only person who was tackling that 0.5%. I had to put over 100 miles on my car today to get 7 houses. I had to just go out to the freaking boonies. And then from there, these are the hard to get cases. So I have to start tracking down people, tracking down neighbors, tracking down data. This stuff takes time, and it's literally only me. And I like what I do, and I have a lot of fun doing it. But it's this kind of thing is, if you're only going to make it me, I need more time, because I can only dedicate 6 hours a day. That's not the weekends, because we have to be done by 9 p.m.
Yeah, that sounds incredibly overwhelming, honestly.
It's cool because I get to go to the woods and hang out and shit,
sure.
Which is nice, because I go on these, I have to track down houses that are deep back in the woods, and it's just nice to go for a walk. But there's a lot of that shit. So it's the administration, in my opinion, has just been a massive clusterfuck this entire time. Where is the second stimulus? They've been talking about that for whatever. I have a feeling they're holding on to that second stimulus until right before the election. That's the move I'm waiting for them to drop, because at this point, people need it. People need it, and it's been on everyone's mind. And
yeah,
and you know what? Trump can sit there and say we brought all these people back to work. We did all this thing, but it's well, they were at work before the pandemic hit, and so you know what? How many people would have died had we not done anything? I mean, there's a lot that is wrong. And what bugs me as just a person, what bugs me as an American, is that the commander-in-chief takes zero responsibility for the shortcomings of how we've handled this pandemic. I get the whole, but I closed down China. Okay, motherfucker, you did one thing.
Because he's incapable of being humble. That's the thing. He can never be humbled in any situation, because that makes him, in his mind, that makes him look weak. So he can't do that. Has to be strong at all times.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, look, man, it's if Trump could actually lead this country, like actually lead this country, I would be more inclined to be supportive of a second term. But the truth of the matter is, he's a failed experiment.
There's nothing behind the bravado at all.
No, there's
Saw
nothing
that.
there. Tonight was a pure example of that. But we've already known that. Anytime he goes out there and he does a press conference, which turns into nothing more than a giant coping platform and then a campaign rally, kind of, which is entirely unethical, but no one says a thing about it because at this point, it's all just become the norm. We are living in a weird norm that we need to find a way to break free from. And if that's Biden, as fucked as it is to say, then by all means, bring on Sleepy Joe. You know, at least people might calm the fuck down a little bit.
I did want to point out, though, that I can already tell that Trump's trying to plant the seeds for, you know, his contingency plan. Like, what if he actually does get voted out of office, which there's a fair chance. And I think he knows that there's a fair chance that he could. He's already, like, you know, trying to get people prepared to, you know, basically go out. I mean, he's basically sowing the seeds for people to go out and protest if they don't get the election results that they end up wanting. He's going to drag it out as much as possible. He's going to do whatever he can to hold on to that fan base, that popularity that's been building up, and capitalize on it, because that's what he needs to do. Clearly, he needs to do that. I think he's just desperate for attention and to build his brand. I think that's what his entire presidency has been.
No, I agree with you. That's why he ran for president. And in the process, he's destroyed his brand irrevocably. And I don't think, like, he's, you know, I mean, look, he worked a deal in order to get Ivanka trade deals or trademarks in China. You know, she's profited off of that. The family itself has profited off of that. All the money that they've made from the hotels and the golf courses where he goes and spends his weekends because he's golfed. He made a comment tonight about Joe golfing more times than Trump has. I've never seen Biden golf in the last year, at least. I know
Trump
he's golfing
is a total meme. There's pictures of it all over the fucking internet.
Exactly. There's there's websites that track how many times he's golfed and how much it's cost the American taxpayer.
Oh my
and
God.
For people who like fiscal responsibility and that are out there really going like, but Trump's the fiscal responsibility guy. Really? Has the gold apartment in Trump Tower not just been a gigantic wake up call to nothing about this guy is not extravagant? And the cost to the American people and the cost to our tax dollars and everything else that could have been done to be better. We've spent millions upon millions upon millions that could have benefited the average worker in order to pay for Trump to go out there and golf. You know, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, you know, there's got to be at some point, someone out there has got to stop and go, oh yeah, maybe he shouldn't have done that. And then go, well, wait, hold on. What else has he done that's fucked up? Like, you know, how do you break the conditioning when all these people, the people that are, that watch the most news watch Fox?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And that's my take on it. Again, if you have different takes, I'm willing to hear them. So, all right, Minister, I'm gonna keep it going, man. Keep moving down the list. I appreciate you coming on in. We'll talk later, 100%.
See you, dude.
All right, man. See you. Hold on here. Hold on. Oatlord says Biden just flies to his private island to golf. Does he have a private island? I don't know that. So, you know. Let's see here. No, they all golf. I think they all golf. Golf is boring. Give me a president that plays like Call of Duty and I'll be like, word. All right, let's see here. Frank Hassel. I have a feeling I know who this is.
Hello.
Oh, goddamn, I knew it was you.
Oh, it's me, Randbot, and I'm feeling somewhat trepidatious about coming onto this live stream.
You actually sound more like Randbot though than Simp does, just because you have that.
I don't know who that guy was.
He's trying to impersonate Rand, but it's not even. We need ear juice for that. I don't know if ear juice is around, but we need ear juice to do a good Rand.
Talking about getting kicking his wife down the stairs, and I'm gonna have a cry, Matt, because Ralph didn't give me more lemons on the bench.
So, let's see here, Turk. I see that you're here, but I'm going through the list of people, and you're the last person that came in. So you have to fucking deal.
Give me the full screen, Matt. Everybody wants to see the meme.
No, I had this image up yesterday. I had it up here. There we go.
Did you?
Yeah, I brought it up yesterday. It's on the screen right now. I said this is my favorite meme, and then you had made the meme. Well, so you say. I have no idea if you made it or not.
Trademark, copyright.
I still think this meme is better. Now. I still think this one's better.
Aim.
I should have put aim on there. I realized
Get back! Get back! Your voice gonna crack when you do it.
Yeah, get back.
Because when your voice cracks, it's like it reveals to the wider world your falling away mental state and your willingness to do anything. Call the ambulance, failure, but not for me. Goodness, failure. Failure, call the ambulance. Gator, play the clip.
Yeah, everyone's got a brand coming, I guess.
What's your brand, Matt?
Turn off that pesky ad block.
Turn off that pesky ad block, lads.
Oh no, here's something funny. This is actually do you know who Base Tyrone is?
Yes.
Or Big Man Tyrone. Big Man Tyrone, I think that's who it is.
Yes.
Okay, check this out.
Turn off that pesky ad block.
You love to play that video, don't you?
I do love it. Yeah, that was
That's your favorite
Kraut.
video.
Kraut had that made for me. He paid him to do a whole bunch of catchphrase, and then he
Damn,
clipped
what
it
a
out
pay
and sent it to
pig.
me. Yeah, I know,
What a
right?
pay
Like,
pig,
I'm
man.
cool with it, man. I think it's
What a
hysterical.
retard.
I think that's hysterical. I love it.
It's worth it though for a laugh.
It is worth it for a laugh, 100%. So, all right, I don't think. Did you watch the debate at all, or are you just here to troll?
Yeah, I watched the debate. No, I'm not just here to troll, man. You
Okay.
know.
Right, Virgil says, don't forget the red pill. That's right, Virgil. I believe the line was, and 4chan says, I'm the most red-pilled motherfucker. That was another line that came from that same video with turn off the pesky ad block.
Matt, I don't want to. You were talking bad about Trump Tower earlier, and I just want to say Trump Tower is based. It brought New York back from the brink, back from the ocean that it should have been cast into a long time ago. I think
So
Trump
what you're
Tower
saying
so
is like,
fucking great.
you're saying that like Manhattan was like Atlantis, and it was completely
Fucking
submerged.
shithole, and it should have been cast into the sea.
But the brilliant Trump Tower was able to anchor itself to it and then pull it up using Donald Trump's massive strength. Like who's that
His
story
gold
about
toilet.
the ox? The guy, not the Paul Bunyan, the dude who like it's oh god, it's the the guy, the pickaxe dude. Someone in the chat know the pickaxe guy.
Matt, you're going fucking crazy.
No, I'm not going crazy. It's a folklore tale about
You were going fucking schizo,
is it
man.
not Johnny Appleseed? It's not Johnny. No, it's the guy. Terry Crews starred him played him in a fucking movie recently.
Give me full screen, Matt.
I'm not going to give you full screen. I'm not going to give you full
Give me
screen. I'm not going to give you full screen. I don't need.
Show this meme.
I don't trust you. I'm not looking at that shit. Let's see here. What was he in? What was he fucking in? It was, oh my god damn it. Does anyone know what I'm talking about here? Like, it's a folklore story. He was John Henry. John Henry. That's who he was. Vito got it right. Yeah, John Henry is who it was.
You're being blown the fuck out by Vito. Give me full screen right now.
I'm like, oh, jeez. What is, hold on here. What is,
Trust me, it's good.
all right. Oh, gee. I've seen a few of those. I've seen a few of those pop in so far. All right. I have seen a few of those.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember Frank? No dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. There's a few of them from yesterday that I saw. All right. So Joro the Penguin's like, I have no idea what's going on. Paul Bunyan had the ox. Yeah, I know. It was John Henry. I fucked up which one it was. All right, man. So what do you what is your takeaway of the debates tonight?
The takeaway from the debates is that they were so fucking boring.
You think it was boring?
That's the takeaway. They were not as interesting as what we would expect from the 2016 debates, where fucking Donald Trump he drumped off the ring and he smashed Hillary into the ground. That's what we were all expecting to happen to Joe Biden.
I thought I wanted I really really wanted Biden to like have a bit more bite to him. But
I really wanted Chris Wallace to not be cringe Wallace for like
he
5
wasn't that
seconds.
cringe. Like he was. I see what he was doing, dude. He was petting the ego when he needed to calm Trump down. He was like the Trump whisperer, because Trump gets all flurried up and he's all like, trying to do his, I'm going to cut everyone off. And then Chris Wallace is like, great, I got to basically just suck his dick to get him to calm the fuck down.
I would rather Chris Wallace. I think he was a terrible moderator, but I don't think it's because he did a bad job moderating in this debate. I think he did a bad job because he didn't moderate in this debate. He was running parallel interviews with sleepy Joe Biden over here and Mr. Trump. And
that's a fair criticism. That's a fair criticism. I will.
These separate interviews. and they occasionally fire shots at each other, and it's so fucking boring.
I kind of feel Neon Dream says Chris Wallace ruined the debates again. No, I mean, I agree with your point. The parallel interview is actually a very interesting observation. I didn't look at it like that, but I can see what you mean. And I think you actually make a very valid point on that front. I think he was trying to elicit the best response out of both candidates. Like he was trying to set them up to give the more interesting response, maybe the most meaningful response. And he was trying to play to both sides because he's interviewed both people. So with Trump, he was doing the narcissist pet, right? He was like patting him on the head, like, you're a good boy, Donnie. You're a good boy, Donnie. And then with Biden, it was a bit of a softball toss and hoping for, Sleepy Joe to actually
Cringe Wallace is a fucking beta, and he fears Trump's Chad energy, and he has to be there sucking his fucking dick constantly during the fucking debate.
I don't know if he was sucking his dick.
He just has to suck his fucking ego, Matt.
Okay.
That's my schizo take.
Okay, it's your schizo take. I can get
needs
behind that.
At least one schizo
Everyone,
take.
I have my own schizo takes. I have my own schizo takes.
This is so unimportant. This debate. Everybody's already chosen their side. Everybody knows who they're going to vote for in the end, if they're even going to vote. It's
no,
so
and that's you have a point on that one. I think people become very apathetic to everything, and I think a lot of people. But what I'm hoping is that this isn't going to speak to either side. I'm hoping this speaks to the middle, the people that are undecided, the ones who maybe were like, I didn't like Hillary, so I didn't vote for her in 2016. This is, maybe I have, I'm really concerned about Florida and Pennsylvania, Wisconsin and Michigan. Those are the ones Florida predominantly. I'm like, Florida's the one I'm going to be watching.
I don't know who these moderates who can still be convinced even are, or where they are, if they even exist.
Because there are people out there that
don't. This is something that you've imagined in your mind.
There are a lot. Because
in your brief rant of schizophrenia.
I don't think, there are a fair amount of moderates out there. Yes, 100%. So I do think that I think a lot of people are more politically moderate than they want to let on. And I think the way that we have sensationalized corporate media, and especially online media, because I think now it's like 1 in 4 people get their news online, and how clickbait that has become and how punditry that becomes and everything else. It's all opinion. It's all op-ed. It's not journalism. Like when Keemstar was in here last night and he's trying to berate me for not being a journalist. I've never claimed to be a journalist. I've never claimed. I was trying to do my due diligence last night.
Quite frankly, I'm not surprised you have all these schizophrenic thoughts. You believe that America. Do you think America can come back together again?
I would like to believe that that's possible, but at the same time, I'm not naive enough to go that it's an inevitability, right? I think I would love to see it. I'd love everyone to hold hands.
That we're disconnected, or that we
No, I don't want to sit there
hands and sing Kumbaya.
I would love us to sit there and try to find a way to hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but I don't think it's going to happen. When I talk about the inevitability,
we can hold
it's like
dicks, Matt.
We can hold. Well, sure, tip to tip. We'll just go tip to tip around the country, and I don't know. Maybe we'll Dutch rudder each other. I have no idea.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to continue, Matt.
Now you're curious. Google Zach and Mary make a porno.
Don't continue that.
Yeah, it's called the Dutch rudder, man. Look, it's a Dutch rudder. Like we sit in front of each other, right? I put my hand on my left hand on your right arm, and you put your left hand on my right arm.
Is this?
And we kind of just move our hands, and we just kind of like jerk each other off, right? It's called the Dutch rudder. So I'm just saying, it's like that's how we do it. You said tip to tip. You said tip to tip.
Can we get the next host in here?
I was just saying tip to tip, man. Like you brought it up. I'm just giving you an explanation of what a Dutch rudder is. You mentioned tip to tip. Okay. So it makes me wonder if you've done it before. So you could just.
But I'm just serious, Kit. Do you think America can come back together again?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out. But all right, man.
Do you care if it does?
I do care because there are people. There are people. Look, man. One of my friends died because he was a Trump supporter who believed that masks were pointless and that we didn't need to social distance, and he caught COVID and he died. And that is what happened.
Sounds like he died a hero.
He didn't die a fucking hero. He died alone in a hospital room. That's how he died. Not a martyr. He admitted he made mistakes. And so that's my whole point, though, is like it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad that when we're in a global pandemic, when 200,000 people have died in this country, that it's like this is not, and people are running around saying that this shit's made up, that it's fake news, that it's hoax numbers. And they use everything they can to try to verify that or validate that argument. And when the president's out there, even tonight, saying like, I wear masks when I have to, you know, but he's not downplaying the problems of it. He knows the numbers. He talks that, you know, he knows Fauci. He knows all this shit, but he's out there playing like he's an idiot. I'm sorry. I want the president to be fucking informed.
So you generally you think that like the president is President Donald J. Trump is unfit to lead America, right?
Oh, I've been saying that for years. Yeah. The biggest mistake.
Why do you think he's unfit?
Because he's an idiot. The biggest mistake I made. No, truthfully, the biggest mistake I made in 2016 was giving Trump the benefit of the doubt. And I did, because I listened to what he had to say. And I think as much as I didn't like Hillary, I wanted to believe that he was what he said he was. And I'm telling you right now, he's not. And he's never been. What do you
think he said he was?
He said he was going to lead. He had all these ideas he wanted to do. Things I actually believe in, right? Things I actually believe in. But he's done nothing. The biggest thing he got through,
awesome.
The biggest thing he got through was the tax cuts, the new tax code, and that was a Paul Ryan push. And then Paul Ryan pieced the fuck out. He pieced the fuck out. Never mind, all that bill did is really kick the shit down a decade. That's all it is, man. Like, there is a lot of shit that's gone on with this president that for some reason people just willfully ignore. And we're not talking about like,
at least appreciate his taxes and tariffs that essentially tax blue states and essentially provide relief to red states.
I'm okay with that kind of
certain conditions.
Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. All right, I'm fine with there being.
But isn't that part of the health of America as a whole?
I'd like to think that we'd all
is to not lead tariffs and taxes against certain voter bases.
I'm not, to be fair, I'm not the most familiar with that. Right? Like, all I'm saying, like, I don't like Paul Ryan, so that's probably where I'm getting my bias from, I'll admit. Yeah. But when I look at but that's really what he's done, good or bad. That's his big piece of legislation. Good or bad, and we're going to find out how that's going to kick in down the road. But this last year has been shit. And now when you have an unhinged president calling the election rigged, when he still controls two houses of the government, two branches of the government, and he's calling it rigged to a live audience of millions and millions and millions of people.
Calling it rigged and then having it and then winning and having everybody having said that it wasn't rigged, then saying it's rigged, that would be a power move, though.
That would be
a repeat of something that's already happened, isn't it?
Well, kind of, it feels like it a little bit. Yeah, it feels like it, because it's like if he's going to sit there, because I think him making those claims has a lot to do with the fact that he's realizing that he's not doing as well as he thought he would be. But then again, he was down in the polls in 2016, and anything can happen. As much as I want him gone, I will fully acknowledge anything can happen.
Mundane Matt, I support the police and the protesters. The only people who I don't support are the moderates and the peaceful protesters.
Okay.
Yep. That's my opinion.
Okay. All right, man. I'm going to let you go. We got a lot more people to get to.
My official opinion is that was no warning shot.
Oh, my God. Jeez. Okay, bye. Okay. Thank you. 8 speech. All right. Let's get... You know what? Screw it here. Okay. All right. Is this Andy Simite?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. You've been running your mouth in the chat. What's going on, man?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can go over a couple different things. But first of all, I want to make sure that you're not going to kick me like you did last time, like a little bitch.
It depends on what you... Wait, when did I kick you?
You kicked me, I think it was last Friday or Saturday.
Why did I kick you?
It was because you were being a pussy and you didn't want me to make my point.
Well, I usually let everyone make their point, but if your point becomes redundant and repetitive, I want to move the fuck on. So,
right. I'm sure. By the way, I wanted to ask you. You also had like 3 or 4 other people on there, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's your show. You can do that. But it's just kind of ironic because you criticize Ralph for only wanting to have a dog pile type situation with you on the kill stream. And you're too much of a bitch. You're too much of a bitch to go on.
Wait, hold on. Is this the tree guy?
Yeah. I was on my other account.
Okay. Yeah, dude, here's the thing. You know why we kicked you? Because we showed you that you were wrong. We showed you Andy saying that he had stealthed that chick, and you wanted proof, and then you couldn't accept the proof, and so you just kept going on like a spurg. So I kicked you. I'm willing to have a conversation with you, but I really asked you keep your spurg in check. Keep that
No, you're
autism in
being
check.
a pussy, but that's all.
I
That's all
wasn't
right.
Dude, you fucking went on for fucking like 20 minutes about that shit, and we
All right,
showed
well,
you the proof
Andy
of it
thing,
in his own words, and you still
Sure,
didn't believe it.
whatever. Okay, sure, Andy's a rapist, whatever. I don't care.
Well, you cared last week?
No,
You made a big deal of it last week?
No, the point was that you are willing to selectively lie and apply different standards of
I wasn't. What
in
was I
different situations depending on the person. You're willing to give some people the benefit of the doubt, and other people you're not willing to give the benefit of the doubt.
Did I ever
That
claim
was
to
the
be an
entire-
objective person? No, I'm not an
Oh, no,
objective person.
Actually, I have actually heard you claim to be an
I might
objective person.
approach certain
Just
stories
last night-
objectively,
just
but I'm
last-
not going to give my opinion
Right,
on
right.
shit. My opinion is always going to be subjective. So
Okay.
it is what it is, dude.
It's funny.
But we're
It's
talking.
funny that you say that because you literally just claimed to be objective last night, whenever Boogie was making you look like a little bitch.
No, he didn't make me look like a little bitch. I let him
Yeah,
talk.
he did.
No, not
Yeah,
really.
Sure, he did.
Not really. It's pretty funny. People who didn't hear the second part of that conversation don't realize half the shit that was going on. But that's all right, man. That's okay.
You know what's funny though?
I don't expect you to do your research because clearly you didn't last time.
Interesting. You said that because you literally changed. You did a fucking 180 on whether or not Boogie was justified in his actions, and I got exact timestamps to go over if you'd like to bring that up for
I was
in terms of
asking questions.
No.
And then
you
Boogie
made a video saying Boogie strikes back, saying that Boogie, in your opinion, Boogie was 100% justified. Boogie was 100% justified in brandishing the firearm and firing off a warning shot. And then after Boogie came on and bitched you out and made you look like a fucking pussy, you did a 180 and said Boogie was 100% not justified that he fired a warning shot.
So for one, let me explain how the process of train of thoughts work. When presented with new data that provides you being wrong, then it's easy to, then you should, and I don't always do it because I'm a human and I fuck up. But in this particular case, the castle doctrine I was looking at in that original video, I got wrong. I thought that Arkansas was a no duty to retreat state. I was actually wrong on that front. And so when presented with that information, then we came to realize that what Boogie did was actually illegal. So that's the situation. That's why it changes. Data I didn't have because I got the wrong info.
So you mean you just made a video talking out of your ass to begin with? Is what
I did a quick reaction video to the situation
you were talking
with
out
Boogie.
of your ass about a situation you knew nothing
So then
about.
I spent, but hold on, that was in
that what you're
was in
saying?
the afternoon, and then I spent the next couple hours looking into it as best I possibly could to collect any information that I could, and then I presented my case and presented my theory, and I still had that piece of information wrong.
A subject before you knew what you were talking about. I'm asking.
I did a reaction. I did a reaction to what was going on, and then later I could have left it alone at that. And then I went back and I was like, you know what? I'm going to continue to talk about this. Let me go and do further research into it, rather than grabbing my fucking phone and making a video real quick and then throwing it up on YouTube. Yeah. And again, what I love about this is like you're sitting there and you're trying to argue that a hot take is somehow a terrible thing when I'm explaining to you that a few hours later I actually was going back and doing more research in order to have more data, more information. No, you love to move the goalposts constantly. You did this last week too. This is exactly why. This is exactly why talking to you is such a fucking stupid thing.
Where did I move the goalpost?
Because what you're saying is that you're like, oh, you ran to make a video, which I'm not denying that I didn't do. I did a hot take response video. This is YouTube. Guess what? Wake up, asshole. This happens all the fucking time. Then later on, I went, you know what? I'm going to go and look at this other information. So when I do a show, I'm going to be able to present it in at least a more complete fashion, which I believe that I fucking did. And you know what? At the end of the whole situation, which you clearly didn't get through that whole stream, and I don't blame you, it was like nearly 4 hours long. At the end of that situation, Boogie was like completely unhinged in so many ways. And it didn't resolve the situation, but it made a lot of people who heard him really question a lot more of what we were hearing because of the way he was acting over it. And you know what? Like, I get why he was upset with me, and that's fine. Here's another thing on that one too. I actually went back this morning and I looked at our DMs, and I even said to him, I said, I'm not going to lie. I wish this wasn't true. Right? Like that it was a troll. And he goes, yeah, I wish it was. So I asked him more or less, I hope that it's not fake. And then he goes, I wish it was fake. And so I did ask him in that particular context, But
That's
that came
not really
out
a
after.
question, but sure.
No, but it's more like if I'm saying like I wish this was fake,
It's
and
a
he's like,
comment.
it's a comment,
statement,
but
not
when
a-
he,
not a
but his
question.
response was a confirmation of what I was saying. You see the whole point there? His
No, yeah,
response
I get-
back
I
with
get
"I
what
wish
you're
it
saying,
was"
but
was
my
a
point-
confirmation.
Sure,
So
I don't
again,
really-
data comes in different facets, sir. We get it sometimes, we don't. I run an online show that I talk to people for a couple hours. You want to come in and hold me to this higher set of standards without actually applying it to the people that you're defending, and that's exactly what happened last
Who
week.
am I
And the peop-
defending?
You're coming in here with the same bullshit from last week. You know,
No,
you're in the chat. You're in the
are you
chat
saying
talking
I'm
about
defending
Ralph.
Boogie?
You're in the
Are
chat
you
talking
saying I'm
about fucking
defending
Andy.
Boogie?
You're in the chat talking about all this fucking shit. Now you come on here. Now you're talking
I'm
about
defending
Boogie
Ralph and Andy. What am I defending?
because you're talking in the chat. You weren't talking about Boogie. You were talking about Ralph and Andy. Now you come in here and you're talking
Specifically
about
what, though?
Boogie because
Tell me
now do you see what you're
Okay.
doing? You see what you're doing? In one area you're talking one thing. Now you're talking another thing. So it moves.
Yeah, it's
you're
almost like I
shifting
can hold
topics.
two
You're shifting two.
simultaneously opinions about different people.
No,
But, okay. Okay. Before you deflect away from the Boogie situation, my point wasn't that your initial opinion was correct or incorrect. My point is that you talk out of your ass and you talk as if you know what you're talking about.
Did I give a hot take? Yeah, I gave a hot take.
It's not a hot take. It's more like just a stupid take. I mean, you were 100% wrong.
So was I? Was I? Because I said even in there,
Yes,
I said this in my
according to the
video.
law,
In my
you were
video, I
100%
said
wrong.
because are you overlooking the part where even in that initial video, I said, you know what? I think Boogie was justified for firing off the shot. However, I didn't know the details of the shot. I thought he fired it into the ground at that point. That's what I would do. I didn't know he fired it up into the fucking west or whatever it was that would end up going into the woods and then another fucking neighborhood. I didn't have that detail at the time. No one had that detail at the time. I also said it's potential that it could be kayfabe in that video as well. So as bringing up the idea that while I am giving him the benefit of the doubt, I still think this could potentially be fake. So I'm talking about this issue. So what you're doing is you're sitting there saying like me putting out questions and talking about a situation.
No, you were not
that's
putting
recently,
out questions. You were putting out your opinion.
That's putting out. Putting out my opinion and raising questions in regard to that. And
No,
again,
you said,
what you want, what you're holding.
You said, in your opinion, Boogie was 100% justified in brandishing the firearm, 100% justified in firing a warning shot, and then you raised the question whether or not Boogie would have been justified to kill Frank Hassel.
Well, if
So
you're going to fire the shot,
went-
if you're going to fire the shot, you got to, anyone will tell you.
What you're saying. But the point remains that you said that not only was he justified in brandishing a firearm and firing a warning shot,
Sure.
but he potentially might have even been justified in killing him. Is what your point
Because
was.
if he felt he was if he felt that he was in imminent danger and that Frank was there to cause bodily harm, then he would be justified in those moments to commit that act. Now, the problem with that though, is it goes then further to the concept of the interview. Because I ended up watching the interview with Frank and Boogie and Keem after I made that video where Boogie was then saying, I want you to come here. I will take joy in killing you. That becomes a little bit different. That ends up being a bit more on the premeditated side of things. And that's a big ass fucking no-no. So here's the thing. You are, again, what you're mad at is I put out a video with a hot take opinion. That's what you're mad at. And that's fine. That's fine. You want to put
out of your ass.
That's a hot dude. Do you not know what a hot take opinion is? You listen to Ethan Ralph. Do you not know what a hot take opinion is? You listen to Andy Worski. Do you not know what a dumb coked out opinion is? Like, dude,
I don't really watch Worski
you
shows,
do not understand the things of which you speak, which is exactly why we got into it last week. You come at me with all of this shit and you are just so trying to find any little hole you can to shove whatever the fuck you want into it.
Matt, you
to try
literally
to
just
disprove an
admitted
argument.
to making videos about things you know nothing about.
Did I make a video as a YouTuber, as a person who talks about shit on the internet? Hold on. Before you looked into it, talks about the things as they are presented, and then gives my opinion or my questioning based on things as they are presented, and then after that, going and then doing further research.
You didn't look into it.
See,
at all,
that's the thing. So putting out a hot take. Okay. So
anyone.
So are you against people then tweeting?
No. Why would I be against that?
Because people put out tweets without realizing what's going on all the fucking time. Hot takes on Twitter happen constantly.
In a YouTube video or equivalent?
Well, are we not talking about publishing the social media?
I mean,
are we not talking about the idea here of taking a thought and composing it into
equivalent?
Well, I mean, the social media, right?
I mean, a tweet,
a Facebook post, a meme, A video,
People
it's all kind of the
shouldn't-
same thing. So if you're okay
people
with one, but you're not
shouldn't
okay
tweet
with the
things
other,
out
it's showing how
either.
it's
So I
showing how
guess I don't
hypocritical you
understand what
are.
your point is.
My
What
point
no,
is that
no,
you're
what-
being hypocritical because you are trying to
What-
attack
what am I
me
being
over putting out
hypocritical about?
because you're mad at me for putting out a video
I'm not
that I
mad at
didn't
you
have all
about
the
it. I'm just-
information on, but you're
I'm just
okay if I were to
pointing
do
it
that
out.
in tweet form. Do you not
No, no, no.
understand? Again,
I mean,
you do
you're
not understand the things that you're talking about,
Let me know
dude.
when
Constantly.
when you're ready to shut up. Okay.
I just
Let me
know
know when
because
you-
it's
let me
funny
know-
because
let me know
every
when-
time you try this, you fail miserably.
Sure.
And you are mad at me for having a hot take opinion, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
No,
Then
no,
what you're
I'm
mad at
pointing
is
out-
then you're mad at me then doing more research.
All
So
right.
then when I talked about it again later on,
All right. Yeah, we got it. Okay. No, I'm actually pointing out that you have no idea what you're talking about, yet you're putting out your opinions anyways. You're not doing research. You're not doing any due diligence, and you're just reacting to something when you have no background knowledge or background information on the
and
subject.
okay,
You literally said, "Hey, I developed an opinion before I looked into this subject at all." And
Sure.
you did a very similar thing whenever it came to the Kyle Rittenhouse situation.
no.
Tell me what Tell me what Kyle Rittenhouse did.
See now you're moving the goalpost.
What's
Okay,
wrong?
what Kyle Rittenhouse
Tell me
did?
how I'm moving the goalpost.
Okay, so you're talking about a 17-year-old who should not have been armed with an AR-15, being out in a crowd of people by himself.
Says who?
Says I believe the law in Wisconsin.
Nope.
No, because the law in Wisconsin would allow him, but it does give him the. I believe.
Possess it.
I'm sorry. What?
He could possess the firearm. He cannot buy the firearm, but he did not violate the law by possessing the AR-15.
But I believe he has to be having it within. There was something that I was reading about like permission. But you know what? Here's the thing, man. Is like the people who actually have a law. Like I think what the kid did was wrong, and I've been open about
Why?
that. And
Why? What did he do that was wrong?
Because he went there and he had a fucking gun. A 17-year-old kid had a fucking gun in a goddamn fucking riot, and
That's
two
what you're
people
saying, yeah.
fucking died. No, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it's on the. Okay. I see. I'm sorry.
In another violent Antifa fag.
So okay, so you're justifying their deaths. You're
Absolutely.
you're
They deserve it.
justifying
100%.
you're justifying a guy throwing a
100%.
plastic bag at Kyle Rittenhouse is okay to lose his life,
It was
and then
literally
you're
like
you are literally
like a
justifying the
Molotov
death of a man. The death of a man who
100%.
threw a plastic
Joseph
bag
Rosenbaum 100% deserved to die. 100%.
because he threw a plastic bag.
So did the other guy. I forget his name. Yes.
So then
No.
people who
No,
saw
because he
some
physically
kid gun
No,
a guy
he
down for
physically
throwing a
assaulted-
plastic bag, then
No,
deserve to
because
die
he
for trying to
physically
apprehend the
assaulted
kid.
Rittenhouse.
Okay.
He physically assaulted Kyle Rittenhouse, and
By
then the other guy,
throwing a plastic bag. Okay.
No, by physically assaulting him, fat ass.
But physical assault in that regard doesn't necessarily mean that the guy deserved to die, and that's going to be it for a
yes,
jury
it
to
does.
decide.
Absolutely
My opinion on the matter.
Kyle Rittenhouse clearly had a firearm. He was retreating from the mob that was trying to attack him. He was trying to de-escalate the situation by retreating. The child molester Joseph Rosenbaum pinned him up against basically had him pinned up against the car, and he only shot at the very last second whenever he had no other choice but to shoot. And by the way, he was not the first one to open fire.
No, but the person who died did not open fire.
It doesn't matter.
So, no, that absolutely
No,
fucking
the
matters.
person-
Are you fucking kidding me? That is a shit argument. Somebody else nearby opened fire, therefore it's
who died
justified for Kyle to open fire. All right, this is
Attacked Kyle Rittenhouse.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Anyway, man, listen.
You like a pussy?
No, I'm not gonna kick you like a pussy. I am gonna move on, but I'm gonna leave you with a pondering thought. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with a pondering thought
You're
here.
gonna kick me like a little bitch, aren't you?
No, because I have a full fucking room of people, and I gotta get the four fucking. I've got and I want to keep this under 2 fucking hours.
Answer one more question though before you go.
Ask your question.
Okay. You know how you always make it a point to say that anyone who has donated or bought like a T-shirt or something like that from some like campaign that Ralph does or whatever. You know how you refer to them as pay piggies or simps or whatever. Do you also apply that standard to people who donate to you or who have bought shirts from you, or is that just you being jealous of the fact that Ralph is able to make a living online, whereas you ruined your YouTube career? And so
you're bringing up old shit 'cause you got nothing else. Okay. So when I called drummer, hold on, no, because you're bringing up 2-year-old shit because you got nothing else to fucking fall back on. It's a weak ass argument. It's a weak ass argument, dude. Just like last week when you tried defending Andy. And I'll just say this real quick. So for one, in the drummer situation, I called him a pay piggy and a gunt guard because he was. Because he bought the T-shirt in order to impress Ralph.
You a pay piggy?
Because if somebody donates to me,
hold
on, and then travels to another state.
Hypocrisy, right?
No, dude, there's a difference between somebody throwing down $2 in a super chat and then somebody. No, because you're moving those goalposts because you're not letting me answer. And you're moving those. You're trying to overtake the conversation. It's not going to fucking work.
Answer fat ass.
See, again, you're pulling out fucking ad hom attacks and shit. You've lost. You've already lost. It's okay. I don't think your body's realized it yet, and that's all right. When you go to bed tonight, you're going to curl up in the fetal position. You're just going to cry and cry and cry, and you're going to probably text message Andy Orski and be like, "But Andy, I tried to defend you, Andy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Anyway, look,
Andy's kind of a douchebag. I don't really like Andy that much.
You defended him pretty hardcore last week, so I'd argue that you do. I'd argue that you do. It's okay though. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Because he admitted it. I showed you that. And again, that was the thing too. You did not. Hold on. You accused me of not having all the information, but you were throwing an absolute bitch fit last week in front of multiple people who were even on the stream and watching it, where you were complaining about like you not wanting to believe.
You have different standards of proof.
I'm sorry. So when I talked about Andy Worski pulling off a condom and continuing to fuck a chick, which I view sexual assault, which would be summarized as being kind of a rapist because it kind of is. It's non-consensual sex. She didn't know about it, and then you got mad at me for that, and I provided you with his own wording that backed up my claim. You didn't really know all that now, did you? You didn't know. It's okay.
Did the chick herself view it as sexual assault, Matt?
That doesn't matter in these situations.
Oh, it doesn't matter because you know better than the girl who he was fucking whether or not.
So okay. Would you?
You're so full of shit.
Would you pull off a condom while you were drunk fucking a girl and then not tell her?
I don't believe that that's how that story actually went because
those are his own words.
Okay, no, that's fine.
We played it last week.
I'm not
so
denying.
I don't. You are denying it. I know that's how it went out. Oh no, but that's what he said. You're wrong. I mean, it's okay. Continue.
Okay, so you know better than the girl whether or not she was sexually assaulted by Andy. You know better. Somehow. I don't know how. Were you like sitting there like, like stalking him, like you kind of, stalk Ralph's stream and you hate Ralph and it's a terrible show, but you catch every single episode every single night. It's kind of weird how that works.
I actually don't. People stream snipe it all the time, and I might pop in for a minute or two while I'm doing something else, and then I fuck off.
You know exactly what's going on.
Because I pay attention to what's going on. Because at this point, I kind of have to.
Oh, but yeah, because you're obsessed with it, which is fine. I mean, I hate watching.
No, because I'm wondering if at any point in time these assholes are going to fucking call me again or continuously try to troll me. So I like to be aware so I can fucking make sure on that shit.
Tell me, why don't you grow a pair and go on the kill stream 5-on-1 like I went on your show like 5-on-1?
You didn't go 5-on-1 there was like 3 of us, and most of the time it was you just like completely freaking out. I've been on the kill. Here's the thing. I will talk to Ralph.
Why don't you go on?
I have no problem with that.
That's your standard, right? So you're going on the kill stream is what you're saying.
If he wanted to do a one-on-one thing, because right now it's you and me one-on-one. And you had no problem last week doing it, but I have my standard for going on with him, and he said publicly he won't talk to me one-on-one.
Why don't you just nut up and go on there 3-on-1 or something like that? 3-on-1's fair, right?
Because I think it's funnier the fact that he won't talk to me one-on-one. I'm talking to you one-on-one right now. Are I not?
Yeah, right now you are. You didn't last week.
Well, last week I had other people on, and you were fucking you were just complaining like a bitch in the fucking chat. So we brought you on, and even when people were trying to say something for me, I cut them off and I spoke.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Because I listened to your complaint, and then I proved you wrong. And a lot of people here saw it because I showed. Oh my fucking god, dude! Again, you don't.
No, my point was
you don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You just like you're full of words, but clearly you're missing like whatever connects them together for like a salient thought. And I understand what you're trying to do. You failed on every conceivable metric.
Yeah.
You haven't pointed anything out because what you pointed out, I explained, and then I fucking broke it down, and then I went, oh, here's also what I did after the fact to be more prepared for when I talked about it in the future. You're upset that I put out a hot take. but you're not upset that Andy
No,
Worski
I'm pointing
basically
out-
raped a
I'm pointing
chick.
out how you-
Okay, no, that's fine. No,
because you're
we know where your
asking
priorities are.
where you
We
actually-
know where your priorities are. We get it,
Okay.
dude. It's fine. Go back to being a gunt guard. All right. Feel free to call.
Good guard. Yeah, no, yeah.
That's what. No, because that's what you do. That's what you do.
That's all
So
you
feel-
have. I know. I got it. I know. I
No,
got
that's
it.
fine. Go on.
Good
Go
guard,
on.
good
Go on Ralph's show and just cope. Just cry.
Matt,
That was mean to me.
Why do you turn the likes on some of your videos, but you like turn them off on other videos? Is it
Oh, because that was
your ego is
testing a
hurt so
theory.
much?
That was testing a theory.
Because your ego is hurt so much.
No, that was
sometimes
testing a
you're
theory.
downvoted more than you're upvoted.
No, that was no. The
so
videos do
fragile.
definitely get downvoted
So
more than get upvoted, but I was testing a theory. See, here, let me ask you a question. Do you know how the YouTube algorithm operates? Do you know how the internal workings of YouTube
Right.
as a search engine operates?
It's
Do you
like
know how
how
channels
algorithms-
are ranked or deranked? Because this is what I've spent years learning, sir. This is what I've spent years learning how to do. So when I
failed as a YouTuber.
No, I'm actually doing okay. This is a channel I
No,
haven't given
you're
a fuck
not.
about in a
You're
while.
not.
So I run tests on it, or I do a live call-in show where I talk to people like yourself.
Like 30,000 subs in like the past 2 years. I mean, you're, like,
No,
going
actually,
down,
I lost
going the wrong way.
more like 40 some thousand subs. But here's the thing with that
right,
too.
you're doing
I'm
good, right?
totally
You're
fucking
doing
okay
good,
with
right?
that. I invite
Right,
people
you're
to
okay with
unsubscribe
trying
from me.
to get
And here's the
for-
thing too. You
you
have no
want it,
idea
yeah.
why. You have no idea why. Because
Why what?
why I want people to unsub. You have no idea how the system works, how the platform works,
Right.
or what I'm
And
attempting
you know
to
how
fucking
it
do.
works so well that you
I-
don't make any money on it anymore.
No,
You
I don't make any
guys
money on
start
this
driving
channel. I don't make any money on
Any money
this
period.
channel. But I
Yeah,
have other
and Matt-
projects in the fire. See, this is the thing, dude. You don't ever actually like if you were to actually like talk to
So
me
why
about
do you
stuff
drive Uber Eats? Why do you drive Uber Eats?
because
It's
that's
making
more money
on
up front,
YouTube.
and I like driving Uber Eats. It's something different than this.
Right. You just all of a sudden decided one day, hey, I'm going to give up my career making YouTube videos on the internet, and I'm going to go ahead and drive people and deliver them their McDonald's today. I mean, that's very reasonable, isn't it?
Well, let me ask you. See, here's the thing. I could sit here in front of my computer and talk to people like you, or I could go during a pandemic when people can't leave their home and make
No,
money
you're doing
delivering
this
their
before
food.
The pandemic. You're doing
So,
this before the
no, I was
pandemic.
doing for yeah, I know. And you know, I was still making a lot of money back then too.
Pandemic. It has nothing to do with the pandemic. It's because your YouTube career failed. You cannot support
I just
yourself.
I love that this is somehow something that you concern yourself with. How I make my money or how I don't make my money is entirely up to me. Do I have a roof over my head? Yes. Do I pay my bills? Absolutely. Are my children
And
fed?
that's fun.
100%.
That's fun.
But and then so you,
Your girlfriend's
I
daughters,
don't,
yeah.
do you even know anything about like home ownership? Do you have kids? I don't know anything about you. You know a lot about myself, and you know a lot about my motivations. You seem to have a solid understanding of things that I
You
do.
know a lot about other people's motivations. I picked up on that. So yeah,
No,
I mean,
because
I don't-
I'm an observational person, and I will look to see what their past actions
I'm
are
an ob-
and
I'm an
compare it against their current
observational
actions.
person too. See, I noticed that you have likes on some YouTube videos, or you have the
Yeah.
likes turned on some YouTube
Yep.
videos and off on the others, and you
Yep.
claim it's because of the algorithm, but in
Yep.
reality, it's because you don't. You're
Why?
you're
Here's
so
the thing, dude.
fragile.
If that was the case, why wouldn't I have done it during like the August, September, and October of 2018? Why did I leave him on to get 7,000 dislikes in some of those videos? Why did I continue to work and continuously get the dislikes, knowing
Oh, you
exactly
did
what
make-
was going to happen?
literally
Knowing
made a
exactly
video.
what was going to happen. Why did I do it? Why did
You
I do
literally
it?
made a video about how you think, I think it was in like
The
winter
2018,
of
talking about the
2018,
dislike button. Yes,
talking
100.
about how you
Yep.
think that they should get rid of the
I
dislike
and I
button.
fully and I
Don't
have
act
made my
like-
case on that
don't act
multiple
like-
times. I've made my
All
case
right,
on that multiple times, and I've made my case to many different people about it. 100, oh fuck, dude, so many goddamn times.
And it has
People-
nothing to do with the fact that people mass downvote your videos because more people hate you than like you.
Well, a lot of people. No, again, you don't understand how the fucking algorithm works, and that's okay. I don't
Do you
expect you
understand
to.
how the algorithm works, Matt?
Yeah, actually, I do know how the algorithm
you?
works.
So why did you fail as a YouTuber?
Failing. Okay, here's the thing. Here's what you don't understand. Okay, and I'll just lay it out because fuck it, who gives a shit at this fucking point? What happens is this. So YouTube predicates really only one metric of data, and that's what they look for being a success, and that is watch time. They don't care about sub count. They don't even care about likes and comments. Those don't do much to move the needle at all. All right. Well, what they care about is watch time, especially channel average watch time. So in August of 2018, before everything happened, I was rocking about an average watch time of about 4 minutes and 55 seconds per video.
Because your videos were very short. Like
my
your
videos,
were like
No, my
short
videos,
they
my
were not live
videos. See, again, can I explain what I'm trying to do, or are you going to be a little bitch and fucking keep interrupting me because you don't know what the fuck you're talking
Oh,
about?
try more, fatty. Keep going.
I'm not. You asked me to explain this to you, and then you're being a cunt about it. So I'm just going to remind you that you're being a cunt.
I don't think I did ask you to explain it to me. You just
no, because you asked me, do you know how the algorithm works? And I'm like, yeah,
my
I'll explain it to you,
criticism
which is effectively the
something
same
about
thing.
how the algorithm
You,
works,
oh
which I
my
don't
fucking
know
god,
I don't care
dude,
about the algorithm, dude.
you don't know,
My
but
point was,
you know, because you are asking about motivations, you're asking about reasoning, and I'm like, let me explain it to you. And I'll give you the full details, the full breakdown. So then you are at least informed, which is something you accuse me of not being, which is means at this point you've been a complete fucking hypocrite.
so tell me
Because hold the
exactly
fuck
why
on. You know,
you
you've
turned
accused me
on
of
some
not being
videos
informed on
and
things,
turned off
and
on
you've
other
come in
videos.
here and not been informed on things. Gee, I wonder if that means you're a fucking
Enlighten me.
hypocrite. Oh my fucking
Enlighten me,
god.
Matt.
Oh my
Enlighten
god.
me.
I've
Enlighten
already
me. Tell me why you keep the dislike button turned on some videos and keep it turned off on other videos. Enlighten me.
well, because for one, I'm lazy on the fact the live streams have the likes turns on.
Lazy.
The likes are on for live streams. I don't turn them off. And then they're
On
turned
any
off
of
for other
them?
videos because I've been doing mostly live streams on here for the past month. So the thing was, again, when you have the watch time, which is, like I said, the only metric YouTube actually cares about, that is ultimately what got fucked with. So when everyone was coming on in and they're dropping a dislike and they're leaving, it ends up taking the channel average. And this is true. It took it from 4 minutes and 55 seconds down to 1 minute and 37 seconds, which what that does is it tells the YouTube algorithm, it tells the system, the platform that the channel is non-viable and they shouldn't promote it or recommend it or send it out to the subs because it's just clickbait nonsense content. This is what they do. They de-rank videos that end up having that kind.
Before the Boulder stream, like
No, I wasn't.
Your views were going down before the Boulder stream. Yes, they were.
Everyone's views are going down before then. I was still able to manage. I was still, hold on, dickhead, dude. This is like, I fucking know my own metrics. All right. You can ask anyone who knows me. I pay the fuck attention to analytics.
You're not good,
No,
man.
I was still rocking 60,000 views a day at that time. All right. Like I was still pulling in an average of 60,000 views a day. Yes. Yes, I was. Yes, I know what I make. I'm sorry. Do you have access to my analytics that I'm not aware of? Do you not?
Great track record of telling the truth. Just
again, I love this, right? I'm telling you the truth, and then you're accusing me of lying because you don't have the information that you seek, so you're deflecting in order to hide the fact that you're a fucking hypocrite. That's everything that you're fucking doing. That's yeah, you. Oh my god, I've already explained this. All right, dude, I'm gonna fucking go.
Kick me, pussy. Kick
I'm
me,
gonna.
bitch.
You know why? I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, Matt.
No, because okay, well let's fine. We've got hold on, Cunty McMuffin. Let's talk. Let's ask the chat. All right, let me ask you. Okay, who won this bout, chat? I'm curious.
Let me ask my little hug box of people whether or not they think I won.
Oh my god. You know, people like I don't have that kind of hug box anymore.
Let's go into your Discord and asking them, hey, let's see what these people who are totally objective, totally unbiased, what their opinion is. Matt, you're
okay, if you guys want me to kick him, press kick in the chat. I'm asking. This is now an audience control thing. You never want to turn on the chat according to Metacritic. You never want to turn on the chat according to Metacritic. So I'm asking.
With the stipulation that Matt has to say he's a soy-filled bitch if he kicks me because he said he wouldn't.
Let's see here. All right, this guy's a clown.
No, Matt.
All right, there we go. Look, I'm fine with having the debate. We've been talking in circles for 20 fucking minutes, and it's a waste of goddamn fucking time. 100%. This guy's an idiot. So you know what? Fuck him. All right, we're just gonna kick him out of here so someone else can come in. Okay, Tony, you've been waiting a while, man. Sorry for the wait on. I'm gonna get through everything. That guy derailed the entire shit.
Oh, sorry about that, man. I had to step away for a moment.
No. It's all good. It's all good, man. All right. So,
how you doing, man?
I was having fun debating politics until a salty bitch came on in, and then it just derailed shit for 20 minutes. But I did see the super chats. I have to get to those. Let's see here. Oh, motherfucker. They went away. Okay. Anyway, yeah. What's on your? What do you think of the thing, of the whatever it's called, the debates? There we go.
Well, the debates. Funny thing, what I really kind of find funny about a guy like Trump is that if it's not a tweet, he has a tweet for everything, which is hilarious. But But when it comes to the debate itself, it's kind of funny how he always takes positions that he used to have back in way back when. Prime example, he used to be for universal health care. Now if something like socialized medicine, fuck that noise. You know?
Yeah. Well, he's changed his opinion on Medicare, on the whole healthcare thing a bit, and he keeps saying something is coming, something is coming, something is coming. It's been 4 years and nothing has come. So now we all know how Melania feels.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but
oh, I know it's a low tier joke. It's a low tier comment. But yeah, it's look, the way I would love it if he followed through on that shit. I think that's my biggest problem with Trump is like it's all air. You know, it's just air. So like follow through on more things, and I think you might have a better you know, people might look at you a little bit differently. But it's just gas baggy, and then he gets on TV and he just cries about it. You know, he's like the last caller. You know, like I'm not going to look actual information in the face or listen to someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm just going to run my mouth until I get kicked out of the room.
yeah, that's the thing with guys like him. He wants to override reality through just sheer force and will. You know?
Yeah. So it's unfortunate, man. But so okay, I do want to just blaze the fuck through everyone here. My fucking god.
No problem.
Because well, yeah, I have to be up like at 7 a.m. So I can't be up too much longer. Anyway, the int juggler says Trump only finishes inside of hookers. That is true. That is very true. Okay, so real quick, your thoughts. Who won?
I mean,
I know it's a question, and any you know what, it's whatever you believe it is.
Fuck. Well, to be fair, I was just sitting in the other room when my dad and grandma were watching them. I was just listening to it. But yeah.
Okay, so you don't you don't really know, even though you were listening, you don't really know who won.
Yeah. Well, I suppose. I mean, you gotta have to give it to Biden for actually landing a couple shots and all that. But whereas Biden's like rah 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 rah, throw shit in the wall, seeing what sticks. You know. So.
Yeah. No, I understand. I get you, dude. But all right, man. I'm gonna let you go, but we'll talk again soon. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. All right. Real quick, I just want to make sure. While we were talking with the last guy, there were some super chats that came in. They went right through the main thing on the StreamYard. I just want to make sure I got to him here. Real quick, Crush It, $5 Canadian. Thank you very much. Says, fight. I want to see a fight. He kind of did. It was a bit of bitch fest on both sides. I'll fully admit. I'm the same way. And then it's Fighter Nut, who I do see back there in the chat. I thank you. $5 Canadian, saying if he can be a good tuber, what's his channel? Let us. Yeah, I know, man. Like, let's know. Let us know. I know, man. I know. That's the thing with people who can't do. They just like to bitch. Anyway. All right. Let's see here. Next person is okay. Kevin, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? I was waiting for that for a long while.
Yeah, I know. I have this weird habit of like, I don't like to be, not that I don't like to be wrong. I just don't like to be like, I don't like to not be able to explain my point. And then if it's a data related thing, I have to get through the data. It's like Cartman and singing Sail Away, you know, like if you just hear one bar of Sail Away, you're like, I gotta do the whole fucking song.
So I was watching the debate earlier, and I got to agree with everybody you were talking to. This entire year to me has pretty much been, like when you go to a bar, you just want to get really hammered, and your entire brain just pretty much feels like it's just full of nothing but like alcohol and just everything mixed you can think of is just in your head right now. That's pretty much what this entire year to me has felt like. And I do like Trump. I don't really hate the guy. I don't love him, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm very mixed about this, about voting. Even my parents, I watched it with my mom, and I don't know who will agree with me on this, but there's a limit I have where people like Biden was playing that card again, where he says my son served in the military. I have like this. I could probably if I would kiss anybody's butt who was in the army, because I have just the most respect for anybody who has the balls to say I'm going to serve my country. Either I if I die or if I come back, I'm going to still say thank you for your service. But I mean, that card he pulled really just made me angry because I mean, even with politicians as a whole, like if some of them start pulling out that, oh, I was in the army for a year card, it really just pisses me off because my mom was in the army. Like even my family, like people like my grandfather on my dad's side and my mom's side, they were in the army, and I thought about doing that, but I couldn't because I have a disability. But I still have a lot of respect for army people, but I just don't like that card they play. It just really irks me.
No, I get that, man. I'm not a big fan of that
Yeah.
myself because like I lived in San Diego and I knew a bunch of people that were in the military, and the people that like overplay, that like overplay like their family being in it.
Yeah,
You know?
it just really pisses me
Like-
off because I mean,
Yeah.
I know you were in the army, but I mean, you don't got to keep shoving it down my throat. I mean, you want me to vote for you? I'll vote for you. Just don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Don't be pulling out that woman card on me.
Well, I think because I in this particular case, I think like that's been what that is in person, my take on why he does that has a lot to do with the concept that he's speaking to like the heartland, right? He's speaking to that like that pro military spirit we have, the pro patriot, the pro veteran spirit we have in this country, because we should honor our veterans more. And
Yeah, believe me, I have a lot of respect for them. I mean,
yeah, sure,
I could probably, if I were to be like, if I were to try and be Trump, like I was thinking about that quote from Batman that Christopher Walken gives, or about if he could give anything in the world, I could give them anybody who's military. I can give them $1 million for everybody around the world. Doesn't matter what race there are. I would win them over. But then again, there'd be somebody else trying to play the game, trying to play a card, telling me, he's gonna try and do this. We're not gonna vote for him because he just wants to help military. He's not gonna help anybody else. But there's no way for me to actually like win people over. I mean, I could try and unite anybody, and it wouldn't work. I mean, there's no way of helping. I mean, like with you, I've been watching your videos. I like them a lot, but there's no way we can ever just combine together as one giant unity. I mean, it's impossible. I mean, it's just.
Wait. I'm sorry. What do you mean by that? Is that like
basically like if I wanted to be the president, like Joe Biden, I would try and convince the army people, I'm gonna vote for me and I'll do whatever for you. I'll reunite everybody in the world. We'll have no more war, but it's not going to happen. I mean, I could do it. I could say whatever I want to, and nobody would buy it. I mean, I don't know if people would buy it, but that's just my thoughts on that. Like I could say whatever I want to get votes. And maybe it would work, maybe it wouldn't work. Even if I don't win, I gave it my thoughts.
Well, okay, I get that, man. I think really when it comes to the idea of any political individual, any political candidate saying like, I just want to bring unity, is generally a load of shit. It's a novel concept. It's a novel concept, but it's just not going to fly. Not in today's standards. It's just not going to happen. There's just no way. So we live in such a weird, divisive world. But there's nothing wrong with being different. There's nothing wrong with accepting each other's differences. But unfortunately, like social media pretty much means that humanity's at each other's throats without there ever being like any real consequence, because what I say behind a tweet I may not think about it ever again, but who knows what that impact might have on somebody else's life, So we have to, the thing is like, we have to be more careful. And look, and to go back to the last guy who called, and about the boogie thing, I was like, all right, fine. I made a hot take. Is that like the right call? That's up for you to describe, for you to decide. I mean, most of YouTube content is just hot takes, right? It's just like, this news broke. Let me tell you how I immediately feel about this news in this moment. Most people never actually go back and try to understand it more or understand it better. They just put it out there and then they just move on. And so that's a lot of what it is. And then people might find that down the road and then they might get mad because like, well, wait, but all this other information came out. Well, this isn't like putting out a tweet. You can't edit a tweet. Putting out a video, you can edit a video, but not once it's fucking uploaded. You can't add an addendum to the end of that thing, like a 6 month later update, to go like, wow, I really didn't know anything in this video. I was entirely wrong. And I apologize for everything you just spent the last 25 minutes watching. Leave a comment. Like you can't do that. And so to kind of put that idea or to put that on somebody, I think is kind of insane. But hey man, I'm gonna keep moving along. We still got a lot of people coming on in.
Well, keep up the awesome videos. I'm sick of these trolls. I mean, I'm just getting really sick of these trolls. I mean, like if there was a way we could just use our magical gauntlet of the Infinity Gauntlet and just I don't know, put them in the Phantom Zone for somewhere we could.
No, it'd be nice if we could use the Infinity Gauntlet. Though, I'd probably try to make everybody like, like all hotter, right? Be
Yeah.
all like, snap! Oh, everyone's got freaking bodybuild bodies, right? Bikini models body, whatever. It's a
Yeah.
perfect utopia of just hot people that just want to smash. There we go. That's my
Yeah.
gauntlet usage right there. But all right, man, we'll talk
All
again
right,
soon. All right, how's it
thanks.
going, Kevin? Okay, bye. All right. Fud or nut, I know you've been waiting a while, man. I'm sorry about that. That got a little out of hand.
Camera's on.
I see you, dude. It's all good. I've seen you back there for a while too, so I can see you. But
Oh no, it's all good. I don't like. I originally thought I was going to come on here for some political talk about the Trump Biden speech and how.
well, I mean, I wanted it to be about that. That's the whole point of this debate debrief. But shit goes crazy. You never know what's going to happen.
Guest has brought up so many things.
Okay.
One, how we all love you, right?
Mm.
That,
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
that's how I go to sleep at night now. I don't take pills anymore. I just read my chat of people saying like you're amazing and I love you.
I've been talking to like 16. I still remember the whole shit that brought everything down. You know what? I don't love you. I like your content.
Thank you.
That's
I
why
appreciate that. All right.
The other thing that I brought in was okay. Well, Rittenhouse is a murderer. We can take that to Twitter DMs because we got.
Well, that I would say he's. I don't think he's gonna get.
I would have your stream's not the place to have it, but I'd love to have this conversation.
I think it's my view on it is, my personal view is that I think the first shooting was probably more justified than the second. And but I still think that the guy chasing him, the guy shouldn't be chasing him. I completely believe that.
Yeah,
but,
like I said, this is a conversation for DMs, not.
Well, real quick, people thought that the fucking bag was a goddamn Molotov. That was a lie that was going around. But what I think happened, real quick, and then because it's on my mind. So the dude Kyle was running, a 17-year-old kid doesn't have military training or police training. So like him having the gun in that kind of war zone situation, again, that's like a huge red flag for me. But legality aside, we're talking on a moral or societal level, where I'm coming at it from. But there was another dude who fired off a shot that was to his left, I believe, at the time, or at least to the camera's left.
That was the one that everybody zoomed in on.
Yeah, and so I personally
was in a grocery store parking lot or something.
It was like right there next. Yeah, there's a video where you can see the shot being fired. Yeah, and the way I view that is like what I think is you have a 17-year-old kid who is running for his life effectively, who shouldn't have had that fucking gun.
I think he should have.
He should not have been there in the first place with the weapon.
This is why I said, hey, you know what? I'd love to have this conversation, but I think
sure. But do you think though that like it's possible that the reason why he turned around and he shot the first guy was because the dude next to him like fired off a shot and he just got freaked out? And that was what it
absolutely had to play.
That's what I think happened, and that's what's going to end up. I think.
Okay, here, Matt. You know what? Say you have police training, right? And you're holding a suspect that you can't see his hands, and in a lawful stop, right? Like nothing's wrong. You're a white guy pulling over another white guy, and I'm a white guy in a field, and I start shooting coyotes a tenth of a mile away. Guess what? You shooting the other guy, it might be illegal, like it might be against everything, but it's not unjustified. You heard gunfire. What are you going to do as a reasonable person? And that is what, as far as I'm concerned, like, granted, I'm Canadian. I'm not American yet. I'm Canadian. I believe our criminal justice system is under what is reasonable, not what you believe or I believe. It's what does a reasonable person believe?
Yeah.
So this at the same time, we'd love to, and this is why I said this topic should be for DMs, not taking up minutes on your live stream, because I know there's other people behind me. But hey, you know what? It is a talk that we have to have. And neither of us could be actually proven right or wrong here.
Well,
and
that's
why there is a court.
Well, no, exactly. I'm not like, I as I've said, it's up for a jury to decide. I have my opinion based upon what I've seen. I look forward to the documents going into the court system, which at that point will then become public, and then it will come out, and then I can read it, and I can see. And then at that point, if they have, because I read through the initial complaint that they filed when they arrested him, the charges, and those kind of backed up again what I was thinking. So it's that. So I'm like, okay, now the prosecution has to build a case. And as they go through the process, those documents will become public. And when those documents become public, I can then look at them and I can read them and I can reevaluate what either what I think I know based upon what I have seen.
Yeah.
Right. And that's basically about it.
I'm in the same point. I might be on the opposite side of it, but I think
sure, that's fine, man.
On that one, like it's. Like, that's not what I thought I was coming on to the stream to talk about.
Sure, that's it.
And like I said, I would love to talk to you in DMs. I'm actually going to start a new project soon that I wouldn't mind you part of. But either way, let's move on.
Okay.
Like, if we're done with that topic. If you want.
Yeah. Because there's still like 4 or 5 more people in here, and I do have to get to bed.
But like, as far as the debate goes, okay, again, it doesn't matter 2 shits because I'm a Canadian, but I am a Trump supporter, and I think that honestly, no one got any new votes out of this debate. And it kills me to say this, Biden, Sanders Jr.
I don't think he's Sanders Jr., but I get your point.
But he actually might have got it. He had a few more blows than Trump did. He was less interruptive.
Well, even during the
and he made it all the way through.
Yeah, even during the primaries, Biden was never really one to speak out of turn. And when they told him his time was up, he stopped. Like, he was very respectful of the process, you know. And then he was respectful of the process, but Trump was just like, fuck that shit, and like kept going, and it just showed, like, I don't view that as a sign of strength. I don't view that as an alpha dog maneuver, because when you're in a situation where there is tradition and when there is clearly agreed upon rules, and you say fuck it and start playing by your own, thank you, decorum is the right word, thank you. When there's that decorum and you start fucking around, it just makes you look like the asshole. It just does.
And in all reality, throughout the debate, Biden was the asshole. Biden made more side comments and everything else towards Trump than Trump ever did to Biden. But the thing that hurt Trump was much like what could hurt you. If I tried telling you that pi is 3.15, you'll fucking argue with me on what pi is.
That's my own personal defect, you know.
Like, you've been around long enough, the same as I have, that you do know what I'm talking about, how to get somebody to.
Yeah. No, I know. It's
and that's why I think Biden actually probably won this one, and I hate to say it because I don't like him. I think it's actually you're either voting for Trump or Harris as president, because I don't know if Biden's going to make it to the fucking election.
I know he's gonna. Well, I mean, there is that discussion about whether or not Harris is the person that Trump is really running against.
I don't think Biden's controlling his platform. But again, like I said, I'm segueing. This might be a thing for DMs, and I hate to take up your time and.
Yeah. No, well, yeah. I mean, as time goes on, again, with the whole idea, the whole point of Boulder Talk is like tonight it's about the debates, and there was a detour. But the idea is like when we do the show, a lot of it is just open topic. So we can have this discussion at another time. That's fine. So, because I don't know, because it's the whole point is to just have the discussions. I don't want it. I mean, I know the last 20 minutes turned into like a big fucking IBS thing, and that wasn't really my
like
intent.
Ralph Jr. So
Yeah, that's not my intent, but it's. I'm sorry, what?
Like the last 20 minutes had to be like between Ralph and Andy and had nothing to do with you.
Yeah, pretty much. It is what it is. It's like but again, the whole point is it's open, you don't know what's going to happen, so you just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
That's just what you do with it. So, all right, man. Well, hey, I'm going to
wait. I'm going to
Okay.
put you on the spot here. Like I said, I'm going to end up doing a sober show and a real one. Are you open to be guest spot on new shows?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm just my schedule is really weird right now, so just hit me up. Like I know you can hit me up on DMs on Twitter, or I know we're on Discord.
Twitter, because I
Twitter's
can't
fine,
message you on Discord. I've talked to you for 5 years, but I can't message you on Discord.
I had to turn off the DM. Yeah, Twitter's fine.
You trust me on Twitter, but you don't trust me.
I have open DMs on Twitter, but Discord goes to my fucking phone, and it just bugs me, so I just keep it off. But
okay, Ralph.
Twitter is fine.
Okay, Ralph.
Hey, I at least
tomorrow.
It's fine. That's fine. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see. Pony Gorilla. I'm pretty sure this is Turk.
Yeah, that's me.
You've been waiting a while. I can hear you, man. Yeah. What's going on? What's your thoughts about tonight?
So you're gonna go on that guy's show before going on my show?
Yeah, because I felt your whole approach was kind of slimy and disingenuous, if I'm being honest. Like it really, when we were talking, I really did feel like I felt really kind of slimy.
How I do it, man.
I just felt like it was weird, and I was like, I don't like this. So I'm just not like, I didn't feel like, yeah, that's my take. I'm just sorry. It's like, I didn't really feel it.
I wish you'd reconsider because I'm not the person you think I am, but that's fine. I actually did have a question about the debate, which is, I thought, and I want to see if you agree with me. I thought that there was a glaring omission from the entire debate, which is they mentioned Russia, they mentioned China, they kind of threw out dirt, both saying those are terrible places and shit like that. But I didn't hear shit about foreign policy.
Yeah, that was I don't know because Chris Wallace never brought it up as a topic, because out of the 6 topics he did at 15 minutes apiece, foreign policy wasn't one. I mean, we have 2 more debates, and I'm sure foreign policy is going to fly into at least one of those. But yeah, when they were calling out Russia, they were calling out China. I thought that was interesting. I know, like, was it Nick Fuentes had like 26,000 people watching on D Live, and I was thinking that, oh my God, is he going to get totally fucking just tanked because they criticized China? It's a bad joke, but no, the foreign policy, we have a lot more time. We still have 2 more debates. So that's something that I think is going to come up. I'll tell you what I felt was interesting. Not necessarily the best play on Biden's side was when Biden went like, I am the Democratic Party. I was like, that's a bit cringe. I know what he was.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm going to be honest, I disagree with you. I think Trump was a far more presidential looking person out there. Now, keep in mind, I drank an entire bottle of wine during that debate.
Okay. So by the end, you were right and fucked up.
Yes, but he struck me as more presidential because he was consistent throughout all of it. And immediately he threw out the jabs that Biden is not in control of his own party.
No, he did throw out those jabs, but he didn't follow them up with anything. You know, like he didn't really follow them up with anything. And that might have been Chris Wallace just kind of migrating it through. In the early stages of the debate, I was out pretty remote, and my satellite radio was having a little bit of issue here and there. So like some things I didn't fully get. But if I recall, when Biden like made that, like, I know he stumbled with the comment, which is why it caught my attention. Mm-hmm. And I was just laughing, like, really, dude? Like, really?
Well, the question is,
what are you, all the Jedi? Are you fucking Ray Biden? Is that what this is right now?
I don't know. I still find it interesting that it was like it was good, dirty rhetoric. it was really dirty throughout, and it was really it was really captivating.
I think it would have been. I see. This is why Joe Rogan was trending on Twitter afterward, because I think Joe Rogan hosting a debate between the two of them would be like going to a studio or whatever would be super fascinating, because Rogan, I like him I think his interview style is good. I like his interview style quite a bit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's very conversational, which is I kind of try to emulate that here a little bit, but I'm not very good at it, so I'm still learning. And because I just prefer the conversation. I think you get more out of it, But I would like to see I fully support Joe Rogan hosting a debate between the two of them. I just think it would be one of the most interesting ways to not only buck the mainstream media, which I would love to see, and it would elevate Rogan to new heights, which I would also like to see, but it would also showcase that the digital age is here and that this is where you're going to reach the most amount of fucking people.
Well, if he's going to do that, he's got to bring Kanye West on, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%, dude. Bring on Ye. But he's got to bring with him that Grammy that he pissed on. That's just for a prop, though. But he's got to do it. Again, I would love to see. I would bring on Ye. I like.
If we got Joe Biden calling the person he's challenging a clown and telling him to shut up and stuff like that, why don't we just fucking bring on Kanye West? Who's the libertarian? I don't even fucking know who the libertarian.
Joe Jorgensen.
Only know. It's a
she. And I only know that because I go to this one like lake neighborhood, right, to go and enumerate quite often, and there's a ton of Joe Jorgensen ads over there, and it's weird because I'm like, what the fuck are they doing out here?
Bring all of them on. Make sure they socially distance. Make sure they wear masks. Make sure it's responsible. And yeah, fucking. You know what? I'm digging this idea. It's not a bad idea.
No, I would just. That's the thing is like I personally believe that Rogan would I think he would moderate it better than Chris Wallace.
Absolutely.
He would moderate it better than Rachel Maddow. And I like Rachel Maddow, and but he would moderate it better than any of those fucking corporate media shows. He absolutely would. Absolutely would. It would showcase that podcasting is
I forgot you do like Rachel Maddow.
I know. I have actually, I watched her for the first time last night in about probably 9 months.
No, didn't you say once that you watch her? I thought I
used to watch her like every night. Yeah, I did.
You go to bed.
Not before I go to bed, because I would watch she would come on at 6 p.m. Pacific, right? Yeah. And then I would just find a live stream on YouTube. Somebody would stream snipe MSNBC, like they still do it. And so they stream snipe MSNBC, and because I don't have cable TV in my house, because fuck it, I just I'm like, give me MSNBC app and let me watch it. I would, but no, I just end up watching someone stream sniping Rachel Maddow. And then they'll usually do like Lawrence O'Donnell, and then they'll do Brian Williams. And I like Brian Williams a lot, actually. Lawrence, he's like a male Rachel Maddow, and he gets under my skin pretty often. But yeah, I mean, Rachel, I just kind of tuned out from for a long time. And because I found Crystal Ball, and I just kind of really like Crystal Ball from The Hill.
How do you watch Rachel Maddow all the way through without masturbating violently?
Because I don't find Rachel Maddow to be attractive.
What?
Yeah,
that's insane.
I mean, like
that's hot.
That might be. I'm more of a Nicole Wallace kind of guy. How about that? Maybe Joy Reid if I'm drunk.
All right. Seriously, contact me on Discord. Fucking let's talk about the Dame Pesos thing. Let's settle this.
We kind of settled the beef, right? Dame and I settled the beef.
You did.
Oh yeah, dude. We follow each other on Twitter now. I'm not even kidding you.
I still want to find out.
Like, I'm not even. That was the weirdest fucking thing.
It's slow and it's boring and it needs a lot of editing. I want to find out what it felt like to be in the fucking trenches when it was happening. So give me a fucking.
Why? It sucked. I don't really feel like going back and reliving that specifically.
I know it sucked. That's why I want to talk about it.
You want me to go on there and then be like I was feeling low. Because people were telling me that I was a piece of shit and that they wanted me to kill myself.
Let me ask you 3 questions. I'll fucking edit it. I'll check with you.
I'll tell you what. Well, I'll tell you what. Call in on another night. You can ask me your 3 questions and then
no,
do it.
I
We'll
don't
do
want
it
to
here.
go on your show.
We'll do it here.
Your show is very different from what I do.
Do it like do you do it naked in the dark? Because that might be fun. I don't know what it is you do, man. I don't really feel the need to go. I get what you want. All right. But I don't mind talking about what happened. I'm not looking to go back and relive the fucking experience. I don't mind talking about it because, dude, it was 2 years ago.
Yes, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I covered shit from fucking 2009.
That's perfectly fine. But why do you think, though, after I've made all the progress I've made, that I would want to go back and discuss what the whole thing fucking felt like?
Why would
a lot of it was
talk about something that you got over?
Because it's I'll tell you how
you got fucked and you want to fucking let your story be out there so maybe they can reference it for their own.
Because here's the thing, you don't really get over it. You learn to manage it. All right, there's a difference on that one. You learn to manage it.
Books.
I wrote a shitty fucking poorly edited ebook from 2012 about social media in the entertainment industry because I was teaching it in LA. It's a vastly different place now. So it's, going back to an 8-year-old terrible fucking book I made. No, I took it down.
You took it down.
Okay. I took it down. Yeah. I took it down because it was stupid.
That just as a story, you should tell it from your perspective. I think I would be a good vehicle for it. You might disagree with me.
Yeah, I do disagree with you because I really don't want to go back to that shit. Anyway, let me see. I want to get the Futternuts the super chats real quick because he's dropped a couple of them. Let's see. Rogan would be the first as the same as the first debate on broadcast TV. The future is here. Oh, you didn't have to leave. We would have We could have gone back to it. I want to make sure he's heard. I agree with you. Actually, I think it would have been good. I did write a zombie book. Yeah, kind of. I did write that. Yeah, I did. That one I think is still up and it's nowhere near as any better. All right. And then also, F you, I'm still $12 poor. Fucking, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Virgil, you are the last caller of the night, man. I see there's a couple people back there, Biohazard and Kira, but we've already talked and I got to get to bed. So,
yeah, I'll be quick. I'll be very quick. I know why Andy was being a little salty bitch. Obviously, we all know that Ralph was banned from Daylight for 3 days now. So that's why Andy's being extra salty. Just wanted to rub that in his face.
Yeah, what was I thought that was really I kind of talked about that at the beginning of this. That he got banned for somebody else dropping the N-bomb in a video. Like,
yeah,
that's what he says at least.
That was the Boogie video.
Yeah, what really cracks me up about that, to be fair, is that you can tell that D Live was looking for any reason.
Said something on stream today, pretty much. I was trying to beg them to bring back his account, but they wouldn't let him. They said, no, you got to wait after 3 days. And doesn't look like they want him back on D Live.
Yeah, he'll go back, though.
They're probably waiting for another excuse.
Well, yeah, I mean, considering the fact that he was tweeting out, like, anti-Chinese propaganda this evening, and I'm blocked by Ralph, but I read the farms, okay? So I caught up on the thread while I was waiting for this waiting to start this stream. Okay, that's my guilty pleasure. It's that shit. So I'm not opening an account, but I do check out that thread. I don't read my thread. That's just out of my own personal.
Are you sure about that?
I have perused it, but it's been a while. So, it's weird. It's weird to read your own thread on Kiwi Farms because it's like people come up with the weirdest things, right? The weirdest like schizo theories, and they're fun to read because they're so like devoid of reality. And then like that makes me think, wait, I have my own schizo theories. I like to think that there's logic applied to it, but what if I'm just really that fucking wrong? And
Wouldn't
then
you just want to. Sorry, go.
No. It's good. It's all good, man.
Okay, I was gonna say, wouldn't you just one day want to create a Kiwi Farms account and just make up shit about yourself on there and just put on?
I've honestly contemplated that. To be fair, not for any specific reason, like with the farms, but like to bait certain people into just posting absolute nonsense because it just goes to show you that they don't actually care about any factual information. That it's just like
Yeah.
they'll take and they'll run with whatever. And yeah, I've thought about that, and then I'm like, no, I don't care enough to actually go and do it. Like, I don't like. It's funny to contemplate ops. It really is. It's fun to kind of sit down and go like, how would I fuck with this thing, right? So it's fun to kind of contemplate ops. But then I get to like, I just think about them, and then I'm like, I'll go play video games. Fuck it. Like, I just don't care. Like, I like to think about things, but I don't actually follow through like on 98% of them. So
Yeah, it's
and
just
what
like
I
you
mean
make
by
up
that is
the
like,
idea in your head.
yeah, it's like, oh, I'm like, oh man, you know, be really funny is like, what if I did a talk show called Boulder Talk Radio? That would be. I'm like, oh fuck, and then I started doing it, and then like as a joke, I did it as a joke, and then I just kept doing it, and here we are, 100 and told people watching, 2.5 hours, 660 people watching last night, cacophony of bullshit, but a fun time nonetheless, and you know, Futternut $2 super chat. Don't remind me of Kiwi. Hey man. Sorry, bringing back the flashbacks and shit. But no, I just, you know, like I appreciate the people that come in. I really do. Like I just, there's been, what I like is that people have been finding the streams and people have been listening. Though actually the average watch time is pretty good, for these things. And then, people who, because of the channel getting hit so hard in, the watch time, and it deranked the channel, because that's an extreme case, right? It deranks the channel because of the watch time and the more interactions and the more of you guys that are watching. I've been seeing comments from people that are going like, holy shit, I actually haven't seen a video of yours in my sub feed for like 2 years. So for like 2 years, because of everything, people just forgot that I existed. You know, and many have unsubbed as well. I've also changed things. I dropped Mundane Mad. I've done different content, just trying different things. And so there's a bunch of different reasons there. But now people are going like, oh, holy shit. Like I haven't seen you in forever. Now I'm seeing you. That's pretty cool. Like that like you're still around. And like, that just goes to show you how fucked the YouTube algorithm is. Like, and it's not just me. It's like literally everybody, you know, I'm just an extreme case of certain things. So it's kind of cool to see the channel. Like I went up in subs today. I had like I had like 30, 40 new subscribers from last night, which was really nice. Usually I lose about that many per day. I'm just whittling it down to 100K, but no, people today had to like it. Fuck.
I'll be honest, like these sort of shows are nice. It's like you kind of relax and you just talk about whatever you want, and that's it. I think that's why more people are tuning in. It's like anyone can just give their own opinion. That's what I end up enjoying about these shows.
No, that's why I like doing them. You know what I mean? Like, I talked about it with my girlfriend, and she's like, you're not getting into the drama, are you? And I'm like, no, you know, but like I told her, she doesn't like me telling her about what's going on, and I completely understand it. And she's every right to not want to know. The thing is like, yeah, it's fun just to talk to people. And that's kind of what I want to provide. You know, I've seen people say, oh, comfy stream. Like, and I like that, like comfy, cozy call-in stream. Like that's what I prefer. Just like a hey, what's going on tonight I wanted it to kind of be topic specific. And even last night I wanted it to be topic specific, and it was exceptionally so, which was great. But then I'm trying to think like, you know, like how am I going to, if I do this multiple times a week, people like the call-in aspect of it, but that can't just be like, you know, drop the link and then talk to the chat until, like, I should think of maybe something to get people talking. But it's, I have no fucking idea, dude. I'm doing this quite literally by the seat of my pants every single fucking time.
Yeah.
But it's fun nonetheless.
Anyway, I'm going to let you go because you need to go.
Yeah, it's
thanks
fucking late. Yeah, no, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. We'll definitely talk again soon, right, man?
See you, man. See ya.
All right. See you, man. Okay. Let's see here. Let me take a look. All right. Let me take a look at the chat. Shidoko says YouTube drama is created by grown men. Once you realize that, you realize why it's all stupid. That is true. A lot of it is grown men that are, it's so weird. A bunch of catty little bitches, right? We're all this bunch of little catty little bitches. Like we're in the girls' locker room in fucking high school. Let's go. Like, you see Becky? She's a smelly cunt. That's what a lot of it is, kind of. Murderer hit me up on Twitter. I cleared the channel block list. So I would hope that he would come back. He was funny last night. I thought he was really funny. So there's that. Let me see. Okay, where's the chat? There we go. So, all right. Turk says, I've got a few bottles of wine and a ginseng drink. You're having a good night, man. You're having a good time. Fuck. Caddy says, don't call them Caddy. Sure. 8 speech. Matt kicked Andy in fear. So yes, Andy is gone. I didn't kick Andy in fear. He's still here. You logged into another alt account. So there's that. Let's see here. See, he's here on a couple different accounts. He's End Fago Tree, right? So he just runs around with he just LARPs his different characters in order to, I don't know, make his PP feel big, I guess. Oh yeah, no, sorry, I don't know why you were banned, dude. I don't know why you were banned. So a timeout. Okay, so she's a special case. Morning, afternoon shot. Oh, that's great. That's great. That's funny. It's all good. It's all good. I cleared my. It turns out my block list was not as clear as I thought, but I went through it. I just made sure I did it. So okay, McDraken. All right, you had to do the dad thing, so to jump had to jump out of the room. But you'll DM me on Twitter with what you wanted to bring up. Okay, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you. Joro says, good job with Andy. It was entertaining. That was all good. Nicotina here says, your voice is as smooth as butter. Where's your show? Andre, where's your show, man? It's midnight. Why aren't you live right now? Anyway. Let's see here. Hold on. Futternut says, Matt Charlo, you're ignoring the idea that I'm lonely. But if you can get another girl, there's no stopping the rest of us. Well, thank you, I guess. Fuck you, 100%. But thank you. I've been with mine for 12 years. So I've been able, I guess I've been able to make it work. So that's good. We have 2 kids, 2 beautiful daughters. I love my daughters. And so you're also an asshole. All right. Oh, okay. You're on tomorrow night. Cool. Okay. So Kira, you said you had something very quick.
Yeah. Hey, Matt. Well, we want answers for the questions that we've all been thinking. So,
okay.
Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, dude, Coke.
Favorite fast food?
Are we talking just like national chains?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, because I mean, it would be like McDonald's, but like if I was in San Diego, it would be Sombreros.
All right. How do you think about Taco Bell?
I tolerate it.
Okay, that's a very good answer.
I tolerate it because there's times I'm like, I really want a bean and cheese burrito. God damn it, and then it's like, all right, I'll go to Taco Bell. Fuck.
Yeah, and I'll hate my guts later.
Yeah, or like the other day, my girlfriend brought home like that party pack of like 13 or like 14 tacos or something.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, let's do this. I like their crunchy tacos. I really do. So I eat them and like I will hovel back a lot of them, and that's terrible for me, food wise and calorie wise. But I don't care. It's empty calories, and I love it.
All right, salt or pepper?
Pepper.
White bread or wheat bread?
Wheat.
Okay, I think that's well, I was going to say something about how I found you in the first place. This was like
by randomly posing these questions to different YouTubers, like, this is how I know I want to assimilate you.
Well, no, a friend of mine showed me your videos like in 2013, but I won't get into that. It was actually
Those are some old videos, dude.
Yeah, well, it was at the same time because he also was like, "Hey, man, you should check out Angry Joe, and you should check out Mundane Matt." And I was like, "Okay."
I've been featured in a couple of Angry Joe's gaming controversy videos 2 years in a row.
Right? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a long time coming,
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I've known you for a very long time, and No, man, and I hated you for a little while, but now I really like you, man. So that's good. Anyways,
I mean, I I appreciate that.
yeah, I mean it takes all kinds, but anyways, I just wanted to go ahead and give a
Sure.
shout out. Can I?
All right, well, do me a favor. If I ever make you hate me again,
No, that won't happen.
you got to tell me though. You got to promise to tell me. Go, Matt, you're fucking up. Okay.
No,
Like,
I no, man.
Okay, now see, now I want to know: is it the flagging thing that made you hate me? Because like that would be understandable, or was it something else? Because now I'm just curious.
Well, it was the first time that my friend showed me one of your videos. It was just reading the news thing that everybody always bitches about.
Yeah.
Like, all right, it's just something else, whatever. But no, you got into your own groove and you got really better about being yourself, and that's what I like about you right now, man. And you've done that exceptionally well.
No, I have. I think what it is, what surprises people is the fact that a couple of years ago, you get in a groove, right? Every creator gets in a groove, and when you get into a groove and you're as isolated as YouTube is, because YouTube is very isolating to content creators, because like you might watch it wherever, but we have to create it in a specific space for the most part. And when you get into that groove and you're doing it 7 days a week for a couple of years, it just you kind of end up losing you lose a lot of your personality. It's like last night talking to Boogie, and he said that he meticulously chooses his words, that he meticulously homogenizes everything, so then he doesn't offend people. And I'm like, that, wow. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, I do get it, because that was me. Not that I homogenized everything, but I was particular in how I said certain things. If I was, let's say I was recording a video where I was trying to make a joke, and the joke went, not that necessarily the joke goes south, or if I'm trying to discuss a sensitive topic and I feel like I'm not describing it well enough, or it comes across as like too schizo or whatever, like then I go back and I re-record it. Okay. Or I force and this is like, I'll go through like a 20-minute video and I'll fuck up. And then I'll just, cause I get in the groove, and then I go back to the beginning and I start over again. And that's a big factor of it. Right. So I'll tell you guys, this is the truth. So back in 2017, I did this video, this story about a 19-year-old woman who had a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old boy, and she got pregnant. Now, this video caused a fuckload of a stir that I still don't quite understand. I realized that I said things wrong because I didn't formulate it well enough in my head, right? I was trying, because even in the video, I start off by saying like, I'm confused by this story. Because she's facing like 20 years in prison for this, and I'm like, it's like, is it really whatever? So I formulate questions because I like to ask questions, but because I didn't condemn it in the way that people wanted me to condemn it, a Scottish or Irish YouTuber by the name of Dave Cullen made a response video to it. And all of a sudden, there was a slew of videos people were putting out there saying like, Mundane Matt supports pedophiles. Mundane Matt is a pedo supporter. All of this fucking shit. And I'm like, I'm not a pedo. Like, what the fuck is this shit? And everyone is fucking furious at me for making this video. And I'm like, I just said it the wrong fucking way. But clearly I don't support it. It's like, I just said it the wrong way. And so then this people still bring this up to this day. It's been 3 years. They still bring this up to this day. So, and I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I go to VidCon, and like Dave Cullen was gonna be there. And I was like really pissed off at him for that shit. Like I was really fucking furious. Like to the point of where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to fucking fight this dude or something. Right.
Right.
Well, the first night I was there, we go to this party. There's a bunch of us there, like some smaller channels, but Dave got into town and he came to the party, and I was like kind of avoiding him at first. And we ended up sitting next to each other. We ended up talking for a few, and we ended up just kind of having a conversation, and the subject came up, and I explained to Mike, dude, I think I just said it. I think I probably just said it wrong or whatever. And then the next morning, like it was cordial enough. And then the next morning I get to VidCon, and Dave was already there, and we bump into each other. And so we just kind of start hanging out, and we're talking, we're walking around the floor, checking shit out. Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks passes us at one point, and I just look at her and I go like, "Hey Anna, how's it going?" And she's like, "Oh hi." Like she's like, "Oh my god, like you guys don't watch me, do you?"
She is pretty in person.
She is, yes. But she was wearing a romper, which I just find to be offensive on all fronts.
All right.
You know, and so like, cause she was like wearing a romper and wearing like platform shoes or whatever. And I'm like, come on, you're like in your mid 30s. Okay. Like fucking act like it. And then, but Dave got a picture with her. But the thing is, Dave has been very critical of the Young Turks, which is why that was so funny. And then throughout the course of the couple of days, Dave and I, we talked and we hung out and we got to know each other pretty well, actually. And we actually like each other. And, you know, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we're very friendly. And then the last day, you know, before he leaves, he comes over and he's all like, "Hey man, I just want you to know I took down the video that I made of you because I realized that it was just a miscommunication." And he's like, "I'm sorry that I put it up." And I'm like, "That means a lot to me. Thank you very much, dude." You know, cause it was a miscommunication. And we talked about it, but then I felt bad for Dave because later on people saw that video was gone. And then they started attacking him that the video was gone. Right. And I'm like, fucking hell, but Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, it is what it is, but this is why after that whole thing, I really started to like heavily like alter the way I said things. If I didn't feel, and I still got things wrong, but if I didn't feel like if it was like homogenized enough or professional enough or curated enough, I was going to end up, I was going to trigger this response again. And I just didn't want to fucking deal with it because I'm like, I wasn't condoning anything. I maybe didn't condemn it well enough. I don't, you
just didn't disavow hard enough.
Yeah. And so, but people really took that shit and they fucking ran with it. And it just like, it fucked with me because I'm like, oh, cause that's the whole thing. Like I talked about this, I think last night later on, or maybe it was earlier today in a call. Talking about like Hollywood and celebrities, they're insulated, right? They have their whole teams around them. And so they don't ever see a lot of that outside shit, the outside criticism if things go wrong.
Well, Matt, you're your own PR, right? I mean,
yeah, you are on YouTube. You're absolutely your own PR. And so it ends up being this, like this interesting situation of just, you know, and I'm of people who do these kind of things. And so it ends up, again, that's kind of what happened with that. And so by being so cautious, after a while, it just, again, like everything else going on, it just begins to grate on you and grate on you and grate on you. And then you have to keep trying to push those dopamine buttons. So it's finding the crazier stories, the crazier feminist stories, the anti-SJW stuff, pushing those stories because that's what people are going to respond to. And you know that they're going to respond in a way that you're going to agree with. And you're actually not going to have to think about things from any kind of actual critical perspective. Cause you literally at that point, you just go into autopilot and you play the hits. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And that's a thing that I think about when it comes to YouTube. And obviously, like, I'm not a content creator like you, but it seems like it's sort of like a road warrior situation where, you know, you have to only fight for yourself and everybody else is always going to try and cannibalize someone else.
Yeah. And it ends up being a really annoying situation. So that's kind of the whole aspect of it is just like, that's kind of why I'm happy with this whole thing. Would I like to be back to where things were like a couple years ago financially? Yeah, dude.
Sure.
Like I don't mind doing the food delivery. I don't mind working for the government. I don't mind going out and doing side jobs. Like it gets me out of the fucking house.
Can I ask you about that, Matt? I mean,
yeah, sure.
How is it different, like with Uber Eats versus like DoorDash or
Same?
Grubhub?
Well, I don't do Grubhub or Postmates, but that doesn't matter now. But that because not YouTube, but Uber bought Postmates.
Okay.
So what it is it's
I was just curious.
It's the same concept, right? You bring up the app, you hit go. On Uber, you hit go. On DoorDash, there's like you have to schedule time.
Well, I was looking at Glassdoor on those kinds of things, and some of them said that, like, you're making, well, not you, but some people were making like lower than minimum wage.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they don't go out at the peak times. They don't take the time to understand the neighborhood that they're in. They don't they don't travel to higher volume areas because that's a key factor. For example, like I'm in Olympia, Washington, but if I want to go and do something that's a little bit busier, I will go to Tacoma, which is halfway between here and Seattle. So it's at 30 miles north. And then there are people I know that I talk to a lot of other drivers, and other drivers will be like, man, fuck, this place is dead. I'm going to bomb my ass up to Seattle. Seattle is popping almost 24 hours a day. And there are places to hit in Seattle that you will make a fuckload of money in like 2 hours. I talked to one guy. It's like, he's like, I make like $300 in 2 hours.
Well, aren't some of those guys, like they have bad cars, or upkeep?
Well,
they
I mean,
don't-
all things.
or-
I mean,
or
yeah, no,
bad
the
gas
upkeep,
mileage,
the upkeep's the thing, dude. Like my girlfriend and I, we share the car,
right?
and I just had to put in about $3,000 in it in order to like, fix some problems and shit. Which I was not expecting. That last one was an oof. Fuck, dude. Does anyone here know, like, if you get a quote from like the dealer over like the mechanic, like over a job, and then it ends up being like a solid $1,000 more, can I complain about that to somebody? Because
no, you're getting kind of fucked.
I'm
over
getting
in
fucked.
that.
And the thing is, the dude who fucked me, he's a really good guy. Like he always hooks me up, and I think what it was is he like.
Well,
hooked
they
me
need
up.
money too,
Yeah.
but
But he quoted me $1,300 for this job. I go in to do it. We had agreed upon the quote, and like he comes over and he's all like, "Yeah, it's gonna be like 2,200, almost 2,300." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he goes, "Let me see what I can do." And he knocks off like 200 more. So I'm thankful for that. But then it's like, I'm like, wait, like, you quoted me this, and he's all like, yeah, and so like I think he fucked up somewhere, and he doesn't want to admit that he fucked up. And I think like, and he's trying to work with me on it, because he always gives me like discounts and shit when I go on in. So
No, I actually completely understand what you're saying, man. Like I took my car in like a couple of months ago just to get my air conditioning fixed, and they said that, like all they needed to do was like flush the system, and it was only going to be $60. Great, awesome, yeah. And then it stops working like 2 months later.
Yeah.
So I mean, shit like that happens. Anyway, I didn't really know where I was going with all this.
sure. Well, I'm actually gonna let you go. I see Futternuts in the back, dude. I gotta go to bed.
No, I understand. Just let me do one last thing, okay?
Sure.
All right. I just want to make a shout out to Euros, a cat, Oat Lord, John Hodson, Bob Francis, OV Warrior, Lex L, Sean Team Time. I'm not sure how you say it. The Simp Show, Kino Sage, Shadoku, Morning Afternoon Headshot, The Furred Man, Infallible Foul, Joro the Penguin, Cowboy, Biohazard, and Murderer. And you too, Turk February. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate coming on. And yeah, I want to give it up to the mod team. Some people don't like the mod team. I love the mod team. Like they make it interesting, especially when Keemstar came in and like he got timed out twice, and then he went on Twitter and bitched about it. He did.
Just trying to be nice,
He really did. No, think about that. All right.
I said
all right.
a cat. A cat was the first thing I said, man.
Okay, guys. Let's see here. Shidoko, I would recommend probably DoorDash. I think you can make more money up front.
All right, I'm gonna actually leave before.
Okay, man. Okay, yeah.
You get that problem again, when you start calling me twice.
If I didn't have to go to fucking bed, I'd be up private.
No, yeah, you get your pass this time because you said you were going to bring me on the first time, and now I've already gotten on 3 times already.
Well,
so awesome.
we got ourselves a hat trick. There you go.
There we go. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Have yourself a fantastic night.